Previously on Inspired Initiative. While Euan lay in a deep, otherworldly slumber, his spirit drifted into visions of the distant past, witnessing the life and legacy of the ancient Koron tree. Elsewhere, Maldorwen was given a shadowy assignment to stir unrest at the prestigious Blazing Ball, while Asja and Rhukkarrak stumbled upon a robed fanatic beneath Lunar's glow, preaching the return of conflict and urging the citizens of Valtari to steel themselves for what's to come. Eventually, the Malahue regrouped at the desert chapter, where Euan finally awoke, forever changed. He had become one with the Koron tree, its essence now bound to his own. With his return, the group shared a joyful reunion and a hearty meal before retiring for the night. At dawn, a new visitor arrived, the captain of the lost, Finian. He shared theories of a forgotten city, Virelanthe, and a strange power drawing many towards its secrets. With cryptic warnings left behind, he departed, and the Malahue turned their attention to the next challenge, a tournament match against the rival Stormseer squad. Under the watchful eye of Captain Master Larongar, the match began. Elemental fury clashed with martial prowess as spells and strikes lit up the crucible grounds. Though the Stormseer squad fought with fierce pride, the Malahue proved stronger. One by one their foes fell until Zariel ultimately yielded as the crowd erupted in celebration. Now with the Blazing Ball mere hours away, the Malahue stands on the edge of intrigue once more. Who is Jean Yin Quinn, the mysterious host who extended their invitation? Will the night offer laughter and luxury, or hide darker schemes behind silk veils and silvered smiles? You all hear the cheerful laughter and excitement from the bustling sentinels around you. The makeshift crowd here roaring into celebration for you. You hear the Malahue, Malahue, as these newfound faces that many of you don't even recognize are cheering praises to your name after seeing such a display of prowess and skill. As you all regroup together, the sand kind of shifting underneath your feet of the arena here, you feel an overwhelming sense of pride kind of exude in this moment. As other different individuals of the First Light Apothecary start to march out and help some of the Stormseer squad to their feet, repairing some of their wounds, more grievous wounds that you incurred upon them with subtle arcane magics. As they start to stand up and leave the arena, you guys are motioned to do so as well, as the crowd continues to call out.
Well, that could have gone worse.
That was crazy.
Good showing out there, all of you. You're learning. I'm proud.
Well, I knew that we have learned a lot and we're probably going to take them out, but didn't think it was going to be quite that handily.
And that's why they should never judge book by cover.
Agreed. I doubt we'll have, let me fix what I'm saying. I don't think we'll get off as easily the next time.
No, but we can let this go to our head a little bit today.
Of course. And we should.
This is not the only thing that I'd want going up to my head. I hope there's, some alcohol at the ball or whatever. Is that
yes,
what you do here? Do you drink at that sort of celebration? I have no idea.
I have never been to this kind of party, but yes, we need to pick up what we ordered, and there's lots of things to do.
As you all
Hopefully we don't stay up too late.
exit the arena here, Lorangar, the chapter master, greets you once more. Well done, Motley Hugh. That was quite the show that you gave. We'll keep track of it here, and in the morrow, we'll pair you up against maybe a squad a little more capable of your skills. Gives a nod before turning and looking to start the next match. As a couple other individuals kind of call out to you as you're kind of now reincorporating yourself into the crowd. Just, well done, what a show! A familiar, kind of smaller individual, as Brisa seems to be there, kind of squeezes her way through the little bit of a crowd here to meet you all.
Wow, brother, you guys really did work there.
Brisa, you did come. I'm so happy that you're here.
Of course I did. I told you I wouldn't miss it. It was a bit early with how much celebration was happening last night. I was almost afraid I wasn't going to wake up for it. But nonetheless, I'm here. And well done.
Well, conflict did help me. It guided my bolt, but I did do my best. I still feel a bit rusty. Especially after that walk through the desert. I still need some more lubrication on my joints, I guess. More spa time.
Well, from my point of view, it looks like the rest was mostly gone. You took out 2 of them just yourself. Well, with the help of...
Kind of motions towards the rest of you. Kind of points to Euan.
And you were flying. What the? Something you don't see
Let's
every
just say
day.
a gift. Though it's my understanding I seem to have missed your game. I'd like to offer you my apologies. I was
You are on a
taking a
vegetative
nap.
state.
No worries. I'm sure you'll catch the next one.
As you'll kind of just walk and continue. Where are you all heading?
Actually, while they were talking to Brisa, Asja is going to kind of scan the crowd for a moment to see if she can see Rin, the one she was just fighting.
Not too difficult. You kind of look back over your shoulder there and see the more fighter individual being helped up by some of the First Light Apothecary members and being taken over to a spot where they've kind of made a makeshift little center of a care here where they can heal him back to his full strength.
Okay. I'll be back. Just one moment. I have someone I just want to say a quick word to. And she's going to kind of hurry down to the apothecary area.
Okay.
And wait for, obviously, them to bring him to and heal him and stuff like that.
And he was brought to consciousness almost instantly. They're now just repairing some of the wounds, as he took quite a beating from all of you. As He's got a little bit of like a ice pack or something on one of the bruises of your bashing. Kind of looks up to you as you arrive.
That's okay. Asja's got probably a black eye, a little bit of blood coming out. I mean, she's at half health as well right now. He did a number on her too, so.
Kind of looks up to you. Well thought.
You too. That was I'd like to say fun, but it was educational. And I was wondering, if at some point you wanted to maybe do some sparring. You have an interesting fighting style, one that's different from anybody in my group, and I just want to get better. So, plus, I don't know, if I asked any of them, I doubt that they would not take it easy on me. So, what do you say? Would you like to spar sometime?
I think we could arrange that. Maybe
Awesome.
just give it a day or two and let me nurse some of these. Kind of prods at the bruise, just winces.
Yeah, she points at herself. I have a ball to go to tonight, so don't worry. Not a couple of days, no problem. But, again, thank you. That was a good fight. And she just kind of waves and runs off.
Risa kind of pipes up.
Well, I got to get heading back. The whole gang has got plans for the day in celebration as well. But it was great seeing, and good job. I hope to catch the next one that you guys do.
Just kind of waves as she peels off from your little group here.
Yes, please come visit more often. I would love to talk to you, sister.
Okay, and yet again, the arena is almost always open, at least the practice grounds are. And you're more than welcome to come give it some practice.
Yes, of course. I'll try and drag Rhukkarrak with me.
That would be great.
I don't think you'll have to be doing much dragging. It was fun going up against some real talent.
The
Or
best
are
way
you
to
saying
get
I
better.
have no talent?
No, I'm not. Really, the only game I played was on the ship, and
I know.
practically dragged them into that game.
Yes, we did the dragging them. Well, mostly I was doing the dragging them. But I'm glad that you are actually excited to practice Malvis for once. That's great.
It suits. It suits me.
Well, I think we should get ready. I would like to go to the library. I was going to ask Asja if she wanted to come with me. But is there anything you need to do? I was hoping you were able to go pick up our stuff from the clothier.
Has anyone actually been to a ball before?
Not anything like this.
The only thing that I knew about it was that it was fancy. We'd need fancy clothes, and that I don't know what you do at this place.
Maybe you should also go, Euan. See if you find anything else you want to wear. I mean, don't get me wrong, you look very good with nothing on.
He'll raise a scaled eyebrow and look down at you. Phrasing, Maldorwen.
Yeah, sorry. Glad the captain wasn't around.
Do you fancy both male and female?
I mean, I can always appreciate the good physique of a warrior, but I don't like men, no.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I just I've never thought of it before. With you and the captain, it just just based on your question now, it just made me curious.
Yeah, let's say elven women were always kind of my type.
Ah, well, there are some good-looking elven women.
They are the best looking, in my opinion. I mean, some of your people are also very attractive, I think. Rhukkarrak.
Haven't really thought about it that much. There were some pretty good looking people in my village, but yeah, that's fine. Do we need to is everyone going to go pick up clothing, or
I'm assuming Asja is
Yeah,
coming back at this point. Okay.
You group there. Yeah.
I need to pick up some shoes, at least. Anything will do. But I also need to. She kind of smiles at you guys, kind of crookedly. One tooth kind of like, a little crooked. And I need to maybe do something about my face as well. Go home, heal myself up a little first. Rin was really good at what he did. Thanks for the confidence, by the way, Dad. It really helped me.
He'll kind of look over you really quick and take one clawed finger and kind of gently poke the bruise on your cheek. You took that hit pretty well, little one. You're learning very well, very quickly.
I didn't have much choice. I didn't see the hit coming until it hit. Oh. He's very good at what he does, but it made me feel good when he brought out his shield. It's like, oh, yeah, scared by the little girl, huh?
He didn't even pay me that courtesy.
Right?
I was like 1.5 of him.
I wish I'd gotten into a bit of a scrap. I danced around the field and did practically nothing the entire time. Until I got hit by the fire.
The good thing about the helmet is that you can't not see the concussions, but I can feel them like bulging against the metal.
Does it ring like a bell sometimes in there? I mean, this dong when it hits really hard? I'm just wondering. Or is it sound protected?
As Euan reaches over and flicks the helmet to see if it rings.
Hey, easy there. I'm still a bit hurt, okay? It doesn't feel good. But no, every time I get wrong, I just hear hair calling.
I don't know. I'm kind of envious of the both of you. I mean, what was her name again? Alara, I think it was, that you were both fighting.
Yeah,
She's quite flexible. As per your conversation a few moments ago about elven women, she would be an interesting elven woman.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't hear that. Asja, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I find elven women very attractive as well. And elven men. And, well, I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of experience with other races yet, but I don't know. Some of them might have potential. But why limit yourself? We should get ready, though, because we should probably, maybe while we're picking up our stuff, maybe try and somehow ask a bit more about if the people who are making our clothes or somebody in there, if we could eavesdrop on somebody's conversation, because I'm pretty sure we're probably not the only person picking up clothing for this ball. Maybe we should all go and kind of keep our ears out and maybe try and figure out, one, well, what is this ball aside from some big ball for high elven nobles who think that they are bigger than themselves? Two, who this person is aside from a high elven noble who thinks way too much of himself. And why were we invited? I mean, none of us know this person, right? So why were we invited? Maybe we should, I don't know, all go and try on our clothes and look snazzy all together, and then maybe also keep our ears out to try and listen for some, I don't know, some extra information on what we're about to walk into tonight, aside from probably some good food, good drink, music. Oh, Ruka, you were wondering. Generally, there's dancing and some food. Not the same as when we went to Aeon's, which was a party. It's much more, instead of like music with the oomph, 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 it's going to be more classical, probably sounding music with more formal style dancing and things like that. That's usually what the ball means.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, then stick by the food. Usually works.
It's all right, Rhukkarrak. I don't know how to either.
I really like the plan of sticking by the food. Sounds good to me.
Yes, and on the note of trying things with other races, I'll just say that we gnomes pack a strong punch in a small package. So
Maybe we will test that sometime. She smiles and walks off.
All right. As you all returning towards just your little housing arrangement here, the abode, just kind of lick your wounds a bit, recover from the bout that you just had. You enter to the, yet again, kind of barren interior, but it's starting to feel like some sort of home, as you've spent a decent amount of days now here. And return to your little private areas to just, once again, take a deep breath and recover from some of the hit points. I will say, you can take a short rest in this time, so yet again, if you have a healer's kit, you can use a charge of that to roll half your hit dice.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Yes.
Sorry, again. You need the healer's kit to be able to roll hit dice, right?
Correct. In this campaign, because the short rests are you need healer's kit to roll hit dice, and then a long rest is just basically what a short rest would be, where you can use your hit dice and you get some of them back automatically.
Asja will go in her room. Hold on, I've got this covered. Come out with, let's see, I'm reading through. She puts on the little table. There's 2 full healer kit and 2 basic healing potions. All right, where do we make our apothecary area in this abode? Here's the healer's kits, and here's some healing potions if we ever need, which we might want to bring for the next combat. I mean, there was never a rule that we couldn't bring the healing potions, right?
Not that I'm
think
aware
so.
of.
Asja's just gonna find a
rule?
corner and just put the healing stuff in a corner somewhere, and there. That's our healing corner. Ha!
I'm sorry, it has 10 charges, right? The healer's kit?
Yep. So how many charges do the ones that you put out, Asja? How many do those have?
Those are full.
Oh, okay. So full 20.
She's got, she went through hers, and she used a lot of healing spells in the desert. She didn't use the healer's kit as much. She used her healer's kit 3 times in the desert, and the rest of the time she was either able to use her healing light or cure wounds.
Okay. Yeah, a full 20 charges, and that you all can share. Take some much needed bandage, like your wounds.
And Asja is going to sit down, meditate, and start to glow. And I will expend my last 3 healing lights on myself.
Okay.
Does Rhukkarrak remember anything about potions in the rolls?
No, not necessarily. It wasn't necessarily against it. You might think it might be a little frowned upon, especially if you go and buy like a really strong potion and use that like performance enhancing drugs. Like, it probably wouldn't be great, but minor stuff like a healer's potion probably wouldn't be too frowned upon. Like a potion of haste where you're like, I'm crazy now. Yeah, people might get a little upset by that.
DM, I'd like to go buy a potion of Storm Giant Strength.
Oh, Well, you can certainly try.
That'll be 5,000 gold.
I sell Rhukkarrak to pay for.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Wait. Now I'm a slave. Awesome.
All right, Asja's at 36 of 40, but she looks healed enough that she can go to a ball and not have like eyebrows raised. Like, okay, what happened to you? Nothing.
Alrighty.
I rolled 2, but I'm gonna say I rolled 3 because that 3 would be half of my hit dice.
Okay.
Are you?
I rolled the
kidding me?
last one for another 8 points of healing.
Nice.
There we go. Back up to 57 out of 65.
Pretty good. Still a little bit of bruises and whatnot, but the main gashes you've kind of bandaged up quite nicely.
A couple of smudges from the lightning damage I took. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be shucking at the ball. It'll be alright.
Electrifying presence. Yeah, yeah.
What is it? We're just gonna have to get like a little like copper deedly bopper or something to stick on you because you just attract like lightning or electric spells. So
I really
no more.
do. It's a problem.
It's a problem. It is. So we have to get you a little lightning rod or something like
Right, I'm
that.
gonna stick a lightning rod from freaking Minecraft on top of my head.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't you dare remove that ever. Asja finally gets an intimidation roll. Yes.
Oh, well, I got so much hit points back.
I mean, plus your Constitution modifier.
Yeah.
1.
I mean,
10 hit
that's
points.
3, so technically it's 10.
A lot of hit points.
Yeah. That's so much hit points.
Alrighty. well,
Actually, I'm almost full, so that was enough.
you didn't
It's fine.
take much.
No, I took the one fireball.
Okay. So as you all kind of sit around and just bandage up your wounds for about an hour here, just maybe some slight conversation and whatnot, trying to get ready for the ball, which is still about half a day away. It's going to be occurring like right as the sun starts to set. Still have several hours before you're expected to be there. Eventually, though, a knock comes on the door of the abode here.
I'll get it. And he'll get up and go to the door.
Okay. As you kind of swing open and a little... could be oiled. You see a familiar elven woman there in Lunessa. As she kind of... Oh, hello. This is where the Motley Hue... Yeah, okay, I recognize you. Can I come in?
Yes, come in.
As she kind of
Hello,
steps in.
Lumen. Why are you here?
Well, hello to you too.
Hi. I just did not expect to see you here. I'm sorry.
No. Damaris wanted me to check on you all, and I wanted to check too.
And she kind of looks around and sees Euan, not in a coma.
Oh, are you doing all right?
I'm doing much better than I was. I appreciate your concern.
Glad to hear. Yeah, we've been a little worried about that whole situation. You kind of left quite abruptly the other day, and wanted to just check in with all things considered. I know Damaris wanted to speak with you guys again sometime in the future. I know he's going to be busy for most of the early day here, but maybe later tonight?
Well,
You have plans for tonight?
We were invited to the Blazing Ball? Do you know anything about this?
Wow, that's...
Because none of us do.
I was not expecting that.
And you see, like,
social interaction, my favorite thing.
general, like, curiosity kind of cross her face.
Well, good for you. I hope you guys enjoy that. We'll have to probably reschedule then for maybe tomorrow or some other time then. Interesting. I didn't tick you all for the ball goers type.
We're
We're not
You know.
normally.
Alright, I'm not.
No.
I see. Well, why? May I ask why you were going then?
We got
We
an
were-
invitation. Maybe it was delivered to wrong place, but it was written to us, so I guess not delivered to wrong place. But we have no idea. None whatsoever. We were actually just talking about that.
I see.
To
Okay.
be
Why
fair, I
us?
was aware of none of this until I woke up, so
Fair enough.
Do you know anything about the? How do you pronounce his name? Juan Bin Quinn? I think it's his name.
Jean and Quinn. Yes.
Oh, Jean.
Is that who invited you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. Jean, they are quite the individual. Wait. At least they think they're quite important. So does most of the city, that is. I don't know. And you can see... Actually, let's just have you all roll insight.
Insight. Oh. My goodness, you.
Natural 20
my.
for 26.
Oh my goodness! She is hiding nothing.
So, Asja, you've spent a little bit more time than the rest of the people here with Lunessa, and you can see a bit of almost distaste, a little bit of, not straight out like disgust, but a little bit of just, like, not a very happy emotion that she's kind of purveying here as she speaks about this character. They are... I don't know. They are what they are. Why?
What I was told last night by a complete stranger was that they are a noble who thinks maybe a little too much of themselves.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it.
I believe that would be the most political way to put it.
Yeah, I know they do all kinds of things. One of the more recent things they've been known for, though, is actually hired a group of sentinels and scouted out the ruins of some kind up north. They were able to find some crazy information about the past. Stuff that has stirred even almost everyone at the Spire of Illumination. The knowledge that they brought back, well, that they shared, that is dumbfounding. Kind of really propelled mine and Damaris's research into the great trees and this era of despair that they found recordings of.
Luca's gonna give a knowing look to the party.
Finian mentioned to me that, the captain of the Lost mentioned to me that, about this group that had gone north. He was, not happy that there was not more information shared with.
I think that's kind of the gist, how most people feel. When you find something that important to our past, to the history of Aruthar, it almost feels like common sense to share with everyone, but with what was shared, we all just get a sense that they are keeping stuff from us. And I don't know why exactly, if it's a power move, they're saving it because the context is even more so crucial. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's annoying. I just
What
wish
if it's dangerous?
You obviously know what's going on in the city much better than we do. And I'm wondering, what do you think the goal is of this ball? Because this is an expensive thing to put on, right? A show, a display of whatever, courtesy, power, good manners, I don't know. But
yes.
it clearly has an ulterior motive. I noticed that with Aeon.
Yes. Most of the time the balls are for the elven revelry to show through and the passions, but almost always the nobles will discuss things and schemes will be had. I don't know too much about them myself. I've never really attended one, not really my type of thing to do. But it's more or less common knowledge that not just fun and games are had there.
Of course not. It is a ball. It is a place where many high-ups with power can meet and mingle. And make it look like they're just mingling. Without too many eyes watching them. It is usually a place where alliances start. Things like that. I mean, in the very old days, it was a place where marriages would be arranged even between families to build more power.
Why would Quinn be interested in the ruins north?
That is an excellent question. Again, I have not talked to them personally, and a lot of what they do is mysterious and complicated. I'm not sure why. I'm not even sure how they knew of the runes. If it was just a stumbled upon thing, but such an archaeological find as it was, I don't know.
I would like to say one rarely stumbles on relics of the past like that, but not in our past experience.
We have a habit of stumbling over them, apparently.
I have a habit of being one.
She gives a curious eye at that.
If you're here anyways, you should go and speak to the captain of the Lost.
He kind of eyes you.
Is there... Okay. Might as well.
Some
I mean, if
things
you're
that are
curious about
lost should be recorded at the same time, should they not?
Nods.
Alright. Yeah, I'll do that.
He kind of looks just more curious.
Just tell him that Asja sent him to you, or sent you to him.
Alright.
It will make sense.
Now you got me all curious as to what Finian knows. Well, you all enjoy your festivities. It was good to see you.
Kind of nods to Euan.
I'm glad that you look to be doing better, at least. I'm sure Damaris will be happy to hear as well.
Better than I've been in a long time, dare I say.
She gives a smile.
That's good.
Before you leave, Lunes, I do have a last question for you. Is there a place called the Ember Light, or the Forever Sleeping here in the city?
That doesn't sound familiar. I mean, the city is very large. Forever Sleeping? The Somnom district is where we house the tombs of the dead, at least remembrances to them. I don't know if it's really referred to as Forever Sleeping.
All right.
She goes and kind of
Well,
turns.
thank you.
No problem. All right, well, my curiosity is killing me. I'm gonna go talk to Finian.
Pries open the door and heads out.
Take care, Vanessa.
You as well.
We'll see you in a day or two. Bye! Well, maybe her curiosity can help the captain of the Lost translate a few more of those runes. They still don't know what it's for, but at least if we could get some people helping us without knowing that they are helping us and thereby putting them in danger, it would be a good idea. Either way, we should probably go eavesdrop while we try on some fancy clothes.
We should. The sooner the better. I need to speak with them about something.
Yes, let's get going. Somebody reminded me earlier that I need to get new shoes.
Maldorwen, are you ready to come?
I'm thinking I would like to go to this Somnum place. District.
Alone?
Why not?
That a mysterious note just suddenly shows up and you're just going to follow it alone with no one to watch your back?
I can watch my back. Alamor is watching my back.
I mean, I'm sure
know-
there's time for all of us to go after we stop and pick up our items, but if you really want to go alone, I'm not going to stop you, Maldorwen.
It's not that I want to go alone. I actually wanted also to go to the library with Asja, but I see Asja is very set on going there and finding out more about this person that is hosting them all, which I think is a great idea. I just want to scope this other place out, if you don't mind.
No, that I would have loved to go to the library with you, but one thing I have learned that is different. The three of you can just jump in your clothes. I have to jump in my clothes, make my hair look good, maybe go through my jewelry box and pick out a few things to make myself... I have to look a little bit more presentable. Call it sexism, I guess.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Well, I'm also the cutest out of all of you, so, I might be able to get people to talk.
That is
You haven't
also
seen
true.
my face under the helmet.
That's true, but don't you ever worry about the tan line? I mean, that's going to be quite the tan line on your face once you take the helmet off.
Would
She
give him
smiles
like
and
a
winks.
reverse beard.
The helmet is magic. You don't understand, but I'll be fine myself. Take it off, you'll see. If I ever do, I guess. Which, I don't know. If you have to take my helmet off once I'm, dead, please do. If you reach me on my dying breath, I'll tell you my name. Any of you. You are worthy of hearing it.
Well, that is good to know, but how about we don't ever get to that point? She wraps an arm around, your neck a little bit. Got it? I've lost enough people in this world.
I'll try and stay around for a bit longer. I think I have things to do. We all have things to do.
Of course. We're all brought
seem to
together for some
remember
reason.
Small Cartusi gnome challenging me to a duel that still needs to happen, so you're not allowed to kick it until at least we get through that.
Yes. One where I'm not exhausted and you aren't either.
Oh, also, we need to remember for tomorrow that we do have to watch our hits. I think we're a little too broke to afford to bring people back from Lunor's path. So maybe we should really be careful tomorrow, because I do kind of now know what they do, and I know how expensive it is for the parts you need to cast the spell. So, unless we all want to pitch in a lot of money, I suggest we make sure that when they fall down, they're still breathing falling down. Okay?
Oh, I did not think I was hitting that hard.
No, I don't think we were, but at the same time,
It is good to be careful.
she lowers her voice. They were kind of a little, I mean, they hit hard, but they were kind of easy. I mean, I'm pretty sure tomorrow the chapter master is probably going to go, okay, yesterday was way too much cakewalk for them. Throw them in deep end. So, you know,
Yes, it was just the
we
first
might have to
round.
go a bit harder, and we should just really... Yeah. I was worried about doing my guiding bolt. Every time I do it, people fall down in not good ways.
Ah. Well,
But anyways.
daylight is we are losing daylight.
Rukka, honestly, I think Maldorwen will be fine. It's, as you said, it is daylight. And honestly, while Maldorwen will be surrounded by many, many, I guess, persons, it's not like they're active. So I think he should be fine going by himself. If this was the middle of the night and he was saying, let's go to graveyard and check things out, at that point, yes, we all go. But during the day, just after lunch, just after lunch, we need to find food too. I think he will be fine.
Well,
Just to quick clarify too, you know that your custom clothing probably won't be done until an hour or two before the ball, and you still have a good 2 or 3 hours before that time. You could head over there, but you would assume that it probably wouldn't be quite done yet. At least not all of it.
That's fine for Euan, but
yeah, I was gonna say okay, but he still needs to order shoes and wants to give him time to. Well, he's probably gonna see if he can find some pre-made, because he doesn't think they're gonna be time. I don't know. Okay, no, good point. So we need to buy shoes. Is there anything else that we should get for this ball? I remember them saying that their clothes won't be ready until just before the ball.
I mean, knowledge would probably be the most valuable thing. Anyone who might be able to tell us anything about the ball, what to expect. Maybe get a little more insight into Quen. I think Asja was right on the nose there.
Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I just talk because I like talking.
Anyone watching Euan would just notice his eye twitch ever so slightly.
Right. So as you all head out of the little abode here, where are you heading? Straight to the Hollow Stitch. Maldorwen, are you heading to the Somnum? Like you told the others?
No, I was just gonna go to the Spire. Like, I know there's some archives there, so I wanted to check if they had like an archive of the city. And I do have a name that I would like to look for there, or like a last name.
Yep, and this is the
That is
Spire
the-
of Illumination you're heading to?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So as Maldorwen breaks off from the rest of you, heading on a different path through the airways, as you all head towards the Fabrication District. We'll start
And he was
with...
never seen again.
Bum bum bum! we'll start with Maldorwen there. So as you arrive at the grandiose spire district here, towering up into the sky, ember glass reflecting lights and prismatic colors across the courtyards. The general elven atmosphere is very beautiful and very busy at this time of day. You're able to step on in. There's a couple clerks that kind of notice your entrance and kind of nod over to you. Yes, can we help you with anything?
Yes. Actually, I would like to know how you record the deeds of your people. I'm looking for a name or a last name to learn more about, well, this city.
I see. Well, we have quite the recording of the people, but it is not always privy to outsiders, depending on what is your intent, may I ask.
Well, as you can see, I am of the Kertusi people. And we are always interested in the characters of people who are important to the conflict, the shaping of the canvas that is Orica. And there is someone that I think I will meet soon, who I believe has a part to play in what is to come, what the conflict that is happening right now. And I just wish to learn more about their family, know about their history, know about their deeds.
I see. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Conflict guide me.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration. Yes, thank you. Oh my god.
Have the natural ones. Hey!
Oh my god, yes, that's so much better.
Quite the different skills, yeah. Natural 1 and then 18 for 19 total. Very nice. Okay. You see this clerk kind of gives a thought. I see. What was the last name that you were inquiring of?
Yes, it's Veril.
As in counselor. Favorite.
I think so.
Okay. Follow me. As they turn and start to walk further into the very organized archives of the Spire of Illumination. You take a left, then a right, and then a right, and then up, and then a down, and then a spin around before you arrive at large bookshelves of scrolls and parchments of all manner of recording history. As they kind of pick out a different tome, slide it over to you. No, you just wanted the deeds of the house or their accomplishments?
Yes, that's a good start. If there's anything else you think I should know, I would be very interested in reading or finding out.
Well, the counselor is quite an important figure. But here, this should hopefully give you some insight as to what you're looking into. I just hope that you are true with your intentions. Now, if you'd excuse me, I must get back to the front there. They head off and leave you with a tome that just kind of reads important figures of Altari history.
Awesome. So, I guess I'm just gonna go to the index or like the section where I can find how the book works, and or just try to flip the pages looking for the last name.
Okay.
And knowing they're a council member, probably looking for the title. I do speak Elvish.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and roll investigation check to see how long it takes you to kind of scan through this tome of a book.
Alright, can I guide myself for this?
Absolutely, if you describe how you do so.
Yes, I am going to pluck one of the quills from my helmet and using as like a reading guide, and also like through it, like channeling the history of my helmet, my people. Just like Maldorwen is someone who is bound to the past, so right now I'm looking for the stuff that happened in the past, and hopefully that'll be enough for that conflict to be on my side.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll investigation with a d4 on top of it.
The true conflict is conflict with the dice. Like, fuck them.
You should have said that after you rolled, though. You don't just put the dice before you roll. Oh, there you go. So... Your total is
15. Yes, that's a total of 15.
15's not bad. So it takes you a bit. While you do know Elven, you're not... It's still a foreign language, it's not your native tongue. And so it takes you a bit, and you're not one who studies Elven literature on your pastime, more or less. It's been a while. So it takes you a bit to kind of find the index and find what you're looking for, but eventually you come across passages that talk of the House Burrell and its importance to the city, as they have been, details the foreign relations kind of arbiters. They work with, it details a little bit of history of trying to have negotiations with Durak Thol, the realm of the Khazdurim, and sending ambassadors, and how that has gone very poorly in the past. And it does detail Zerelin Burrell and the current Counselor of Foreign Relations in Beltari here, and how she has been trying to recover from the Ember War and find allies within the Pyroclast Isles and other allies to the north. It does detail that communication with the Durak Thol has been very quiet, and they're more than happy to kind of keep it that way for now, with how past negotiations have gone.
Alright. Does it, like, do I find, now that I'm here, like, anything on the Satriel family? Aeons? Maybe?
Yes. If you would like to look into that as well, go ahead and roll another investigation check.
Okay. Can I use guidance for this?
Yeah, I'll let you use guidance. You're gonna need it.
Absolutely. Okay, 12.
Another 4?
I do have...
Wow. Maybe
Yeah,
some
that's
8.
good. I do have this... like, I did recover my second wind, and so I do have the... whatchamacallit?
The tactical mind.
Tactical mind, yes.
Would you like to use that?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Hopefully make it a little bit better, because I really want to see us.
Wow.
Amazing.
The
Yeah,
total
so the total will be
of
22.
22 is very good.
Yeah.
You first kind of flip through and you're not finding what you're kind of wanting. And so you take a kind of moment of reprieve from the text there, kind of looking inward on the conflict itself and taking a deep inhale of the little bit of a stale air here. The strong scent of the books kind of pervades the area of this library. You just call out to the conflict to guide you. And then you return to the book and flip through, and you do find the Zathriel family. It speaks in pretty length. There's a decent amount of text here detailing that family name, how they were one of the large founders of the Sunspire Dominion, and very important people in its first early days. And eventually, the Luthien Zethriel, is what the name it gives, decided there was some contention that occurred in the courts. And so Luthien took his family and the rest of the Zethriel family and left with their primal ember, one of the primal essences that founded this city. And they went and started and settled down on the coast in Elendor. It doesn't dictate exactly why they chose Elendor or that the Morvian Gulf right there as their location, but that's where they ended up. And it dictates how they still, the family name is still very much so in control of that primal ember. And it lists Aeon Zethriel as being one of the nobles and caretakers of Elendor itself.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I love this. You said Luthien Zethriel, right?
Luthien Zethriel, yep.
Okay, perfect. And the other thing that I wanted to see, if maybe like does it mention what was it like that happened on that like political dispute where they decided to move, or just like split and found Elendor, or it's just vague? Or
it does not go into detail on that. It just says along the lines of there was political tension, and rather than an all-out war brewing, like a civil war brewing, they decided to leave.
Okay, nice.
But you can garner that the tension wasn't too much for them to split away from the Sunspire itself, as Elendor is very much a part of the Sunspire Dominion. But this occurred, it gives a little bit of a pretext, and this was about 400 years ago is when that occurred, and Elendor was founded.
Okay. Right, so yeah, I think after being able to get this information, Maldorwen would maybe like take note of where this place is, this archive, and like what tube station he needs to, get off on at to be able to come here. And then I think he'll just, as he said he was gonna go to the Somnum district, he will go there for a while, and what he will do there is just like think about some of the things that the party member said before. And like one of the things that Euan said, and like everything keeps bringing him to the past, and the only thing that he can think of is like, it would be so easy to find the answers if just the dead could talk, if I could talk to the dead. And he's just like walking around and like maybe trying to see what figures he remembers, what like effigies he's familiar with, trying to remember their deeds, and trying to memorize the deeds of the Burial family and the Zethriel family as well. And yes, that would be it for Maldorwen for now.
Okay, real quick with that, as you're in the Somnum there, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay, nice. 15?
15 was the DC on this.
Oh my god,
right
yes.
on the dot. Alright. So as you are walking around, the light of Elmore is strong in the sky, shining down and glistening very beautifully in this reverent place of rest. You see the dancing flames that encompass all these tombs. The fires just subtly flickering within the glass effigies. But there is one that looks to be in the midst of others that does not have a flame. And so that gives you a sense of curiosity. And as you head over to that one, it is not a full sculpture of an elf. It's more abstract in its nature. But you are able to read on like the more or less tombstone portion of it the name. And you read Zelena in a rock.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So he'll just stand there in awe for a second and then like wonder why the shape it's like so. So you said it's more abstract?
Yep. And most of them are. You do see some that are almost direct like translations of what the elf might look like in life, but a lot of them more are characteristic in how the glass is blown and shaped to more represent the maybe individual's personality a bit more, and much more abstract, giving them unique looks throughout the Somnom here. The main distinctual fact on this one is there is no flame within. And I'll say with that, as you're about to leave, you do notice others that don't have flames either, but they appear to be the ones that are newly forged, maybe ones that the funeral rites haven't fully been practiced or completed yet. But that one
and like
was in the middle.
I would know that Gemborn elves know when their funerary rites are about to happen, so like they can, you know, like have the sculptures made in advance, so to speak, right?
Yep.
But this one, it's just like it doesn't have any flame.
Correct.
Like those. Okay. Wow.
All right, with that, we're going to transition over to the bustling workshop that is the Fabrication District. As the three of you ride the airways for a decent amount of time, 15-20-ish minutes here, seeing the grandiose view of Altari pass in just a brief glance. You then arrive at hammering and tinkering and just general atmosphere of busyness and passion of working and creation just hums around you, as you can very easily find the gilded hem and hollow stitch, the place where you commissioned these clothing, and travel back over to there. You do see there are other elven patrons that are looks to be bustling around. Maybe not as many as you might have thought, as the ball is tonight, but there are a couple. It's not quiet here, that's for sure. As you enter into the familiar kind of arched roofing, the different clothing that dances on its own, emulating what it would look like on people. The glimmer of dress kind of flies past you as you enter the little storefront here. A moment later, the older elven woman kind of calls out to you, "Oh, welcome back, you all." And she kind of stops and looks at Euan for a moment, just kind of takes in his oddity.
They weren't kidding.
She calls back to the older gentleman in the back. As the
Tell you, my dad was different.
mote of light kind of flies up over to you, Euan, and kind of just starts to circle around you. And the voice kind of emanates from it. This is quite peculiar. It is. We might have our hands full with this one, mistress. And drifts back towards her as she continues to step and greet you all.
Well, I might say, it's good to see you all again. We're not quite ready with your clothes, but...
Oh no, my dad wanted to come, so we brought him here.
I see.
Yep.
Well,
Kind of clears through a little bit at all of the gawking at him yet again, as always. Sorry, I understand that we are on short notice. Unfortunately, I was a bit ill when the rest of my troop and my daughter came and ordered some clothing. I would have a request, albeit a small one. If it's something you could whip up, conjure, whatever it is that you guys do.
She kind of takes a deep breath in and kind of rubs her chin a little bit in thought.
come here.
And kind of motions you over towards one of these mirrors.
Now, in such short notice, you're wanting this for tonight, right?
If possible, but if not, I would
Yeah.
still like the
Okay.
order.
No, that's fine. It just might be a little more expensive, as we'll have to use some more creative solutions to expedite the process. Please, describe what you would like.
Euan would. You said I'm in front of the magical mirror that shows the clothing that you're imagining, correct?
Correct. Euan does not know that, but yes.
Or Euan doesn't know that, but player knowledge, just so I can
Yes.
flavor for the description.
Mhm.
Euan would begin to describe what he was looking for, and then stop for a moment, rummage through his pouch, and pulled out a charred scrap of cloth. Looks to be a little bit thicker, maybe like a wool of some kind. It's heavily damaged, but he will hand it to the seamstress. And as he is describing this and pointing out the colors on this piece of fabric, appearing on him would be a kilt a little bit longer than knee length, large navy blue squares in the plaid, surrounded by a thicker gray line that runs through, crosses in the plaid pattern, sandwiched between lighter blue, red, orange, and yellow lines, kind of looking like a blade being forged in flame. And then in the direct center would be a very thin green line running through the plaid, a very similar color of himself as well, as he is describing this, as well as enough material in the length of fabric for the kilt that he could wrap it around and kind of make a sash for himself out of the fabric as well.
Okay. As that kind of image reflects off this illusory magical mirror, you see yourself standing there with this kilt adorned, and brings back some memories of your past and your culture, your people. As the elven woman kind of looks over the mirror here, kind of nods.
This isn't too much. It can be done.
And she takes the scrap with her and goes over to part of or to greet the other older male elf who is currently in the process of stitching together some clothing that looks purple in nature. Probably Rhukkarrak's clothing for the night. He's finishing it off. And she kind of describes that a little bit to him. He kind of, okay, I can make it work. And you see him continuing to like go faster and faster stitching the clothing for Rhukkarrak. While that is occurring, there are a couple other patrons in here that are looking and perusing around some of the dresses and some nice clothing. If you all wanted to do a little bit of, I can't remember the word.
I'd like to eavesdrop.
Eavesdrop. Yes, that's the word.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll a perception check for me as you try to just wander around the store, not trying to look too inconspicuous, but trying to pick up on a little conversation that they're having under their breath as they're looking at.
Euan is gonna kind of go over to the side with his natural one, kind of a somber expression on his face. Appears to be more deep in thought than really paying attention to what the other people are saying as his mind wanders.
Okay. And so the totals for...
Rhukkarrak's going to
16.
forget his purpose for a little bit at first. He got a 9 total.
9 total, okay.
And just talk to the store owners for a little bit, and just like, oh, I don't suppose that you make shoes here?
The older gentleman working on very quickly stitching up.
Not really. I mean, we sell some if you want some. We have some made, but usually we get those imported from other places or other stores. We have a couple different cobblers. I don't think we can do anything custom, though.
Oh, no. I just, as he's going to kind of point out his shoes, I don't think that these, actually, they're what? Rice bag wraps or something at this point? I don't think these would work at the bottle. Actually, no, he probably picked up some like really cheap shoes when they went to the free housing.
Well, here's my question. When Rhukkarrak buried his stuff, did he really bury his shoes and dash across the desert on like the hot sands?
Good point. So he probably has his really old shoes.
Yeah, they definitely don't look fancy, but yeah, it would have been very difficult to cross the desert like you just did in sacks of rice over your feet. Your feet would be destroyed.
Good point. Okay, so yes, it's there. He just has this well-worn, beat-up travel shoes.
Yeah, the little glowing ball of light kind of drifts down to the shoes and kind of hovers there among them for a moment before kind of pronouncing, "Yes, these are quite terrible." The older elven gentleman kind of looks down.
You need to not be so rude to our guests, stupid Hemi. Just, look over there.
And kind of points to some shelves where you do see some very nice, very elegant shoes that would match some of the other clothing that is presented here.
Oh, nice. And as he sees Asja listening, and he's like, "Oh, right," and then he'll start listening as he's perusing the shoes.
Okay. So Asja, as you're kind of just looking, pretending like you're just perusing yourself and looking at some of the dresses of very exquisite craftsmanship. Some of them kind of glimmer with some of the light that shines down. Some of them kind of shift colors as you're just looking at it. They're all very, very beautiful. Very, very distinct. There's not a whole lot of commonplace with these dresses. It almost feels like each one is its own story to tell. But you kind of eavesdrop just a little bit, getting a little closer to some of these other elven patrons who kind of whisper out, "Oh my goodness, this one would so totally be my style. I have to have it. And one of the other individuals next to her, you can't afford that. What are you thinking? Come on, we have to get it. No, find a different one. As you continue to peruse, not getting a whole lot of information from that small conversation. But then there's another individual who is looking at some other clothing. And he just kind of mutters under his breath, I don't know if I want to wear something like this. Kind of holding like a tuxedo of some sort before like placing it back on the rack. The stupid balls and stupid fashion, stupid. And kind of continues to look and peruse.
Euan?
Asja's gonna slide up. Great. Asja's going to, as she hears this individual muttering about, I don't know if I want to wear this, blah, 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 blah. She's just gonna kind of slide over. I don't know, I think you'd look very good in it.
Oh, hello. Kind of shyly scratches his head. You think so?
I think so.
He eyes
If you
the
went to the
outfit
ball in
once more.
that, I don't know, maybe you could find me on the dance floor. I think balls are stupid too.
He gives a nod before like picking back up the outfit. A little smile kind of crossing his face there. Okay. I'll take this one. As he then goes over to the counter and starts to hand out some gold for it.
She just kind of smiles. All right, well, I just got the store some business. Not me business, but it's got the store business. Just
He, after handing over some gold and having it draped across an arm, comes back over to you. So you're going to the ball too?
Mm-hmm. I was in myself, my dad, and our two other companions were invited. We're just here to pick up our clothes. Because, as you can see, she kind of holds up her... Can't really go dressed like this, and this is normal.
Kind of chuckles a little bit. Yeah, probably. Stupid. They probably wouldn't like that very much. Well, I'll see you there then.
Sounds good. My name's Asja. How about you?
Ask me at the ball.
Okay.
He
I will
was-
ask you at the ball. She's gonna walk over to you and... That was different. Sit down. Normally I'm the mysterious one that has secrets.
What happened? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, those girls over there are trying to find a dress for the ball, but they don't have a lot of money for the dress that they want. And the man that just came through and bought the tuxedo, he's also going to the ball, but he does not seem to want to go to the, how did he put it, stupid ball. But I tried to introduce myself, and he said, ask him again tonight at the ball. So I will ask him again tonight at the ball. Sounds like a lot of people who maybe are not within the class that this ball is usually thrown for have been invited, not just us.
That
I don't know,
strikes me
maybe.
as a bit funny.
I don't know. Either way, I am going to go and find a place to just buy a very simple pair of shoes to go with my outfit. Also, I was going to go and see if maybe there was a store with some children's things in it, because, you know, maybe Rupert could use a little tie for tonight. I mean, if it's supposed to be dressy and everything.
Euan will stand upright, almost at like full attention with a salute, we will go find whatever Rupert would like.
Rupert's head little pops out of your hair just there, and he's wide-eyed, just looks around.
You have to be dressed up too. Oh, I really do hope the food is good there tonight, though, as her stomach growls. We skipped lunch.
Probably going to be so fancy. Stupid balls.
You sound just like that. Okay. Hey, Ruka, we're going to go to a shoe store and a store to find something for Rupert. Do you want to come or do you want to stay?
Oh no, he's. If I can't find anything at the shoe store, I might. There's a couple here I might be interested in, though they don't look really comfortable. So, yes, let's go.
Haven't you learned yet? Nothing fancy is comfortable.
Before you head out, the mistress of the place here kind of goes out. Come back in like an hour or two and we'll have your outfits all ready to go, including motions towards Euan, yours.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you all depart, we don't need to necessarily roleplay you guys going and getting shoes now as well. But
No.
easy enough, you can find a cobbler of quite the renown here in the Fabrications District that has all manner of shoes. Shoes from the top of the store to the bottom, just a ton of shoes. And so you can find pretty much whatever you would like for a couple gold pieces a pair. As they're a little more fancy make. You could go get free shoes, but these are the fancy shoes, so you pay for them.
Asja is just looking for a very simple, kind of almost like ballet flat, light pink to go with her wrappings.
Yep.
Done. Nothing fancy, no heels, because she's like, oh, those are pretty dangerous. As she envisions everything going wrong if she tried to wear heels. And then she just very casually goes to the most basic flats she can. I'll be safe in these. Walks.
I will say, within the cobbler here, they would have some enchanted pair of very nice boots that are not necessarily just for dress as well, like some boots of elven kind or whatnot. If you would like to splurge a bit more of your gold, it would be a pricey penny to pay, but it would be a possibility that you could do so.
I splurged my pennies already to make myself and Maldorwen look really good, so unfortunately her pennies literally are buying her shoeies.
Ruka saved some of his money.
Just
You
double
said there's
check
boots of
real
elven
quick
kind?
on how much those would be. I think it's a uncommon.
Are there any waterproof boots?
Boots of sea
No,
silk.
we're getting waterproof socks. The silk sock.
Yeah, sea silk socks. Yeah, uncommon item, so probably around 500 gold pieces be the price on those.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say he can't see himself carrying around an extra pair of shoes that aren't at least somewhat practical.
Mm-hmm.
So he was gonna get some kind of boots anyway. And if these are just fancy and they happen to also be stealthy,
Yep.
Because Ruka needs all the help he can get.
hey now. Does he even have 500? Yes. That's 50 platinum, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he got it.
Okay. So you peruse a little bit through the store, and before Ruka, those catch your eyes as they're tailored in quite the fashion, as they still look quite fancy, but not like ostentatious as some of the other ones do. But they are enchanted with that subtle enchantment that makes it so whatever footfall you make, it has no audible sound to it. So you imagine yourself being able to very quickly run or dash or sprint even, and still maintain some of that element of stealth.
Excellent.
Mark off the 50 gold there and just add that to your character sheet.
Excellent.
Of Elven Guide.
Done.
Euan, if you look, go ahead and just give me just a percentile die. We'll say 75 or above, they'll have imported sea silk boots from Elendor.
Oh, maybe. I rolled a new die. It's having a stroke.
Oh no. Not the dice.
Oh, alright, that is apparently not available in the theme that I have on DD dice.
Because
So-
so just roll 2 d10s then, and then we'll just have the first one be the tens place.
So, tens, please. Nope, not even worth trying.
Nope. It's 20 somethings, yeah. Unfortunately, we're just right out of those. Come back in a couple of weeks and we'll probably have some more.
Very well. I wonder what other things there might be around here. Like, for the fabrication district, is it all just like mostly just things that are being made, or is the fancier items or even things like magic items a bit more commonplace here in general?
So as you spend a good couple hours here, as you guys have 2-3 hours to just kill at this point, you maybe grab some food that you get from a vendor that is just selling them on the street side there, so as your stomach doesn't growl too loudly. But you notice that not all the places here, very few of them are like actual shop fronts, like what you would see in Elendor, but more of just creation hubs and places where individuals and artisans of excellent skill are able to really divulge their skill into their passion and create these very fanciful things. And so, yes, magic items are pretty prevalent within this place, although there's not like a super easy way to find them unless you know and have some connections, as they're not just all, come grab this, come sell this. They're not the Tideborn markets of Elendor by any means. But if you know where to look, you can find something. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, you can roll like an investigation check and we can see you stumble upon it.
I don't think Euan is looking for anything in particular. It's more of just perusing what there may or may not have been.
Yeah, the district itself just goes. Like, Valtari is a very big city. It's the capital, after all. And you guys spend a good portion, like a good couple hours just perusing, and it continues. Like, it's such a vast space of creation that it's hard to try to, like, find anything in particular.
The important question is, though, do we find somewhere that's... Do we find a toy store?
Oh.
Because that's what she's looking for, so that she can find
Right.
clothes for Rupert.
Yep. Yeah, I'll say you find a little, like, a store that specializes in, like, dolls and different things for children, where you see a couple elven patrons that have their kids with them. Like, you can hear, like, it's their birthday or something, picking up a fanciful new toy for them to play with. And so you can find that little shop there and pick up a few clothes for Rupert if you would like to do so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she would
What,
like to do so.
what
Whatever
clothes do you pick
Rupert
up for
would like.
Rupert?
Well, she was thinking maybe like a little bow tie or something, like something dapper and dressed up. But
monocle
Rupert has
on the
say in
lizard.
it as well. Yes, exactly.
Top hat.
Rupert has say in what he gets. A little cane, he's got the little cane thing so he can stand up on his hind legs type deal. But she
Kinda
also did
matches
promise him
Ewan's
the
gait.
other day. She goes over to like the more toy soldier section and picks up one of the little toy soldiers like sword things and goes, I did promise you the other day, you just be very careful with this. And she's gonna go to the counter with this fine fancy outfit and one of the toy soldiers like swords and scabbards.
Okay. We'll say it's like 5 copper. It's not much.
Yep, she pays for it.
As Rupert crawls down your arm very quickly and picks up the sword and kind of hefts it up, tries to balance on his 2 hind legs there with this little wooden carved plate of a sword. Just starts to like swing it around a little bit before he stumbles and falls. But imagine he'll be spending a lot of time with the sword as he kind of picks it up in his mouth and then crawls up back into your hair.
Okay. She'll pick up the clothes and smile at the shopkeep and okay, we got Rupert his stuff and he's very happy with his sword.
Okay.
We need to work on his balance though.
I'll work on him a bit with it. I'll teach him how to use that blade finally.
It works for me.
All right.
And I
Eventually,
guess now they wander around for a bit.
go ahead, Rhukkarrak.
I was gonna. Euan, speaking of teaching, I know that you have fought in battles and are an accomplished warrior. I was hoping that you could teach me a little bit how to wield the blade more formally. Maybe some
Absolutely.
defensive stances.
He'll kind of stand back and look at you like he's actually sizing you up for a moment. I think I know a few things that would fit your build. Yeah, it'd be my pleasure to help.
Ah, thank you. Anyway, we were talking about food earlier.
Food would be nice. Food? Food.
Food. Very
Yes.
much food.
You stop at a vendor that is selling like the fruit from the oasis that has been chopped excellently and spiced with a little bit of exotic spices and roasted some as well, little kebabs of this fruit presented. It is very tasty. As you munch down on the sweet yet spicy fruits and head your way back now towards the Gilded Hem. As it's been a couple hours, and you once again step inside as they start to present to you your clothing that you commissioned here. It is just as you imagined it. Looks extremely well crafted, as each of you get your own set of clothes. A little to-go bag is put on for Maldorwen. A very colorful little outfit there for him. Yeah, you all kind of step into a side room and try on your clothing. It is fits to your form perfectly. Like, even Asja, you've had that sense that super nice clothes aren't very comfortable. These are very comfortable. They feel like they were made for you. As they...
Like a second skin.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
yeah, it's you all step out looking very, very fancy and ready to go on with your day. You pay your dues if you have not yet. Euan, it is for the expediency on the crafting of the kilt, not being a very large or a very daunting task. It's just basically a big piece of cloth that they managed to stitch up here. We'll say, well, it depends. Do you want they would have given you this option. They would have given you the arcane infusions, where it could have restitched itself upon like tears and whatnot. You could add that, or like shifting of colors, where you could, with your thoughts, change how the clothing looks. You could have it so it automatically cleans itself and never appears dirty. Any of those appeal to Euan?
How much would the cleaning one be? Because he can mend his own kilt if he needs to. He has the capacity to use that spell. So
yep. The cleaning, each of those would be 50 gold pieces on top of the 25 gold pieces it was for just the basic cloth, due to the expediency that it was crafted in.
yeah, I'll get the ever clean version.
Very clean. Sponsored by the Gilded Hem.
So
You out in the desert, you hate dirty clothes, we got you covered now. Yeah, 75 gold pieces then for that. Yeah. The clothing picked up and acquired. You all step outside as Alamore in the sky is starting to wane down. You probably have about an hour or so before the ball itself, and so you feel like you should probably get moving. You know the District of Passions that this ball is taking place in is just right next door, but it still would be a bit of a travel. You can either go there, or if you would like to return back to the abode, you could do so. It just, you might not arrive early, you probably arrive right on time, or maybe even a little bit late.
Asja is totally fine with fashionably late, but I think we should go home because first off, we have Maldorwen's clothing. Second off, I'd still need to do my hair and put on some jewelry, which is back at home. So, why don't we run home quickly, get to Maldorwen, and then all go together? We don't need to be early for something that we have no idea why we've been invited to anyways. Maybe it would be nice to have a few people to mingle in with first.
I'm alright with that.
I mean, you are more the expert at these things than me, so I'm okay with that.
I hope I'm not the expert of the group on this one. It's not like I've ever been to one before. I've just heard them be talked about.
Though you talked very knowledgeably about it anyway.
I read books. You should try it. Lots of knowledge in them.
There's not very many books here that I can read.
There are plenty in the Library of the Lost.
That is true. And I do need to check that out more often. But yes, we should get going.
Okay.
DM, I do have a quick question now that I'm thinking about it. While we were out and about and looking around, I think Euan would have looked for something akin to like braces of defense or something like that. An AC bump. For some reason, with newfound things that have happened to him, as nice as the beautiful armor is that he got, it feels very constricting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with the 2+ hours that you guys were looking around, you definitely could have found something along those lines. I'm sure if Euan would have piped up and said something too. Both Asja and mainly Rhukkarrak too could have notified you of the brooch that he saw within the shimmer weave atelier. You could have stopped in there and viewed that. Allows you to have resistance to force damage and negation to all damage from magic missiles. Or if that's not quite your style, you go ahead and if you want to try to find something other than that, I say roll an investigation check.
5.
5 is not great. There's not a whole lot. Yet again, you're sure it probably exists somewhere, but nothing here is really advertised to so much. Like, there's a couple shops that are a bit more like shops, like the Gilded Hem and the Atelier that visited, but a lot of them are just more spaces for these elves to work and really show their artisanry. And so they don't... You struggle finding anything in particular without knowing of someone to give you, like, a guided tour.
Understood. I forgot about the brooch.
Yeah, if you want, you can pick that up. It was 1,000 gold pieces for the brooch. But if not, then you can go on your way.
Yeah, I think having been hit with a magic missile and then having dealt with other force damages, you would probably go after that. If you couldn't find the bracers of defense, that would be the next thing you would go after, would be the brooch then.
Okay. And yeah, another... Like, the stuff that has been crafted here isn't... A lot of it that you see isn't super, like, for adventurers, more or less. You have a thought that that stuff might be more commonplace in the desert chapter, where everyone is, like, sentinels. You could potentially find something like that there. But, yeah, if you want the brooch, you could pay 1,000 gold for that and pick that up.
I would say Euan would try to haggle, but it would end up paying more. So he'll just pay gold pieces.
If you want to roll a charisma check, you can do so. But yeah, it's up to you.
Just for funsies. That's actually not too bad.
Okay, 16.
Yes, the piece is quite fancy. It allows you to resist the forces of some powerful arcane magic. It is very powerful enchantment. You want it for how much?
Say we knock 100 gold pieces off of it. I'll give you 9.
Kind of eyes Asja, who's also, I'm assuming, would be with you.
Did do some business with me just recently. I see the necklace on you there. It looks quite good on you. I'm glad you're wearing it with pride. All right, fine.
You did amazing work. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Let's say this. I'll give it to you for 850 if you promise any other jewelry or things of that nature. And you come to me.
I'd be more than happy to do that.
Very well. 850 it is then.
All right. I'll hand him 80 platinum pieces and 5 gold pieces. My wallet is much smaller now.
Okay. Yeah. You were able
just
to pick
a
that
brooch
up.
of shielding, correct?
Yes. Adorn that. So, not ostentatious, but it is very, very well crafted. It is a little more presentatory than what Euan has worn in the past. It is enchanted with some powerful magic as well. Pick that up, adorn it, and then you guys head on your way back towards the Abode. Meanwhile, Maldorwen, you are exiting the Somnum district. I'd say with the studies and traveling and viewing the Somnum here, You might have a little bit of time if there's something else you would like to do, but not a whole lot.
Now he'll probably head to the abode and like maybe walk around the desert chapter, like, you know, just to see if like he can maybe catch a glimpse of other contestants, like just to see if he can maybe see some of the people that we will be fighting the next day by any chance. Like, not that he would know, but you know, like maybe they are there.
Okay. I'll say definitely you can get back from the desert chapter about an hour or so before the rest of the party does. And so you spend some time viewing, and there are still matches being taken place. You see there's still a decent crowd kind of formed around the arena here of the Crucible grounds. And you watch as mini sentinels duel against each other. At the point where you would arrive, you would see a familiar face of the large orcish individual that you met when you first arrived at the Sentinels, and his squad, the Sunblades, as you overheard, dueling against another equally matched, it looks like, squad, as some powerful skills are being presented here, as the Sunblades are quite capable, and it appears their rivals are so as well. And you see just expert maneuvers in their martial prowess. You see some spells that kind of boggle your mind a little bit with just how fast, for instance, Borak, the large orc, just starts dashing and swinging faster than you thought was humanly possible. And with a bright, large greatsword ablaze with flame. Yeah, it's quite the spectacle, and so you spend a decent amount of time just watching some matches take place, as the Sunblades do eventually win their match against this other equally matched, or almost equally matched, other squad. But yeah, you're not sure exactly who you're facing off against, but maybe some of that information will come useful to you, you're not sure. But eventually, the rest of the party returns, and you all recoup at the abode.
While we're here, if we have time, I'll attune to the brooch. The brooch.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do so. As you attune to it, we'll say like on the airway as you're just riding back, the brooch kind of settles in place as you feel just a connection to it once again, similar to your connection to the Laundress, yet not nearly as powerful and as personal. But you just feel a era of fortifying kind of shimmer around your frame with the brooch in place.
Well, as they get back to the abode, I guess they'll go in. Maldorwen, have your clothes.
Thank you, Asja.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I think I did, yes.
Good, I'm glad. We should get ready though, because we might be a little late at this point. Not that that's a problem, but you know.
No, I think we should, at least I need to clean myself up a little bit. And, well, if you'll excuse me, I need to change into these clothes.
Okay.
Asja is going to just go into her room and using the bits and pieces of jewelry that she already had, she's going to dress up her outfit and try and make her hair look a little fancier as well.
Alrighty. As you all adorn your very fanciful clothing and fully get prepared for the ball here, clean up yourself. There are little wash basins and whatnot in the variety of rooms and whatnot, so you can use a little bit of water to clean yourself off. Nothing like indoor plumbing and showers, but it still does the trick. So you clean yourself off, feel nice presentatory. As you all step out, we'll just go around real quick and have everyone describe kind of what their character looks like in this moment. Quick little description. Rhukkarrak, if you want to start.
Oh, okay. I'm not very good at describing. Well, he has like a black toga, I think is the word, with some gold edging and a purple belt with a centerpiece just to the left of his hip. He has a little bit of the wyvern scales. It's been turned into like a shoulder pauldron thing that's strapped across his waist and connected to a purple cape coming off of his back. And then he has some dark purple gloves and dark purple pants to kind of match. And then he's wearing his boots of Elvenkind, but they're more of a black than the standard artwork. And that's what he's wearing.
Very nice. Maldorwen, if you like to describe. We also have a little image to show here.
Yeah.
As well.
So Maldorwen is kind of wearing like a jester's onesie that has, blue polka dots and stripes on orange and red. He's wearing basically like Kertuzi colors and cape or a half cape of feathers that is strapped to his lower back by a belt. He's also wearing some jester's boots with little bells. He has a neck arrangement with bells, kind of like plague doctor's mask, but with spots and rhomboids that are in the colors of the clothes, and a really big like umbrella hat with some plumes coming off the top. It also has some little bells, and he traded his weapons for just a staff that has Lunor and Alamor represented. And yeah, that's what it looks like.
Very nice.
That's goofy looking.
All right, Euan.
Euan is standing tall and proud in his kilt and the ceremonial tartan of his people, which hasn't been really worn in a very long time. He has the jacket that was picked out for him, set over it, with the sash kind of coming up and over his shoulder. In a way, almost twice, as it looks like there's a bit of the material kind of covering his chest underneath the jacket as well. He has the brooch affixed to the center of it, kind of holding the entire ensemble together. And of course the necklace with his Elandris around his neck and kind of tucked into the tartan sash. So it's still there, not super visible unless someone is looking for it. And he has traded out his halberd for the far more ceremonial feel of the greatsword that he had picked up, especially now that it has been carved into an effigy of the Quran tree, the scabbard of it. And he looks pleased with himself, all things considered. I'd like to say that he did his hair, but his quills are not cooperative today.
Very nice. And then last but definitely not least, Asja, if you'd like to describe how you look in this moment.
Okay. Well, as Asja steps out of her room, her dress is rather form-fitted, but sleeveless. She has got her wraps in new wraps going up her arms to close to the shoulders, almost like gloves, but they are a light baby pink. Her dress is, again, form-fitted. It goes to brushing about the tops of her feet, and there are two very large slits that go up the front. So while most would just consider this perhaps a very sexy formal dress, the fighters in the room might notice that this enables her to still move very freely. The material itself is, it almost appears white until she moves, and every time she moves, there's this shimmer of iridescence that just clings to the dress. So each time she moves, the dress is greens or blues or pinks or purples, but every movement, there's a shifting color around her. She has put 2 of her gold bracelets that she used to wear with her other clothing on her wrists, and around her waist, almost as a belt, there is the chains that used to hang around her waist with some gems hanging off of it that she has put onto there. And other than that, there is her Elandris very much right there in prominence in the little lantern. And there seems to be a hood, but it's not up right now. And she's done her hair fairly fancy as she can, but needless to say, it looks like she tried, and this is definitely not the little girl anymore. She's definitely an adult now. There we go.
Very
Put
nice.
it that way.
And where was your Landris? Is it a necklace? Or are you on your waist with your other gemstones there? Or
No,
where
it's on a necklace. It's the exact same as Euan. Her Landris would be around her neck, but she's not really hiding. Like, she doesn't have to put it away, because for her, a gemborn elf is perfectly normal. A gemborn Drakthir, who's green? I mean, the green thing already brings enough questions. The Elandris would just be like, okay, so let's go to the north and find a cave, and we'll live there for the rest of our lives where nobody can ask any more questions. You know?
It's normal for you. I'm the weirdo.
I have rainbow hair, okay? We're both weirdos. Definitely your kid. I am definitely your kid, but yeah, no, she's got hers out. I mean, it's not like there's really much space to tuck it in or anything like that, so.
And sauntering out of Asja's room, you see a small little Rupert on his 2 hind legs using the play sword as a little cane, very similar to how you see Euan walk. He very kind of slowly and just all pridefully saunters out in a nice little form-fitted little tunic of sorts on Rupert. Looks up to you all with just the utmost prideful look in his small little reptilian eyes before walking right up to Asja, just nodding his head.
You are the most handsome out of all of us, and she'll scoop him up and show him to Melda. See, I got him the sword. I promised.
And he looks very amazing with it.
Well, I think we are all ready to go to the ball. I, at least, apparently might have a dance already with somebody, so let's go.
Right. And so as you all step out from the abode here, leaving behind you all in very ornate clothing, you do get quite the onlookers as some people kind of break away from the commotion there in the Crucible grounds and just garner a look over the very finely dressed motley you. Hop aboard the airway there and ride it over to the District of Passions, Very slowly but surely, you make your way towards where a large thoroughfare of people are crowding together, but you can only assume is the Blazing Ball. As the doors to the grand hall part before you, a wave of warmth and light spills outward, drawing you into a world of elven splendor. The Blazing Ball lives up to its name, a celebration of passion, elegance, and fire. Not just in flame, but in spirit that glows behind every smile and glance. The ballroom stretches before you in radiant beauty, its architectural a marvel of artistry. Walls of intricately blown ember glass curl and swirl like frozen fire, catching and scattering the light in dancing hues of amber, gold, and rose. The very floor beneath your feet glitters like starlight upon dew, its mosaic of translucent crystals catching each movement like a painter's brush across canvas. Above, vast unbound chandeliers float with deliberate grace, suspended by unseen magic, casting a soft pulse of glow that beats in time with the music you hear. Silks in cascading crimson and gold arch from vaulted doorways, framing every entry in fire-kissed grandeur. All around you, elves move like poetry given form, dressed in a variety of profound beauty given form from the silks they adorn, glistening like embers or moonlight on still water. They drift through the hall with laughter in their voices and desire in their eyes. Their joy is not loud, but deep and contagious, as if the very walls echo with centuries of revelry and art. Music spills through the air, light as a feather, strong as a flame, played by unseen hands, and to its song, pairs glide effortlessly across the dance floor. Their movements are so fluid, so ethereal, it feels as though they might take flight at any moment, lifted not by steps, but by the sheer weightlessness of joy. Here in this glowing hall of fire and glass, the passions of the elves are laid bare, not just in dance, but in whispered secrets, stolen glances, and stories woven in silk and song. You feel it stir within you, a call to celebrate, to lose yourself in the moment, to shine. The very air seems to shimmer with enchantment. For a moment, you are no longer guests. You are a part of the flame. You step in, bustling around you these elven individuals. What do you all do?
Oh, this
Rhukkarrak's
is
standing there. Yeah,
That's-
I would say Rhukkarrak's standing there with a little bit of an imposter syndrome, seeing this beautiful elegance with the grace that people are moving, and he'll kind of like glance at Asja, who seemed to know something about this, and just kind of start heading towards the food.
And you do see on the outlining walls of this interior here, there are different tables set up with all manner of fruit and delicacies and beverages of the Sunspire Dominion. As there are a large portion of people gathered around there as well, and a large amount of people dancing away in the middle of this ball. I will say, as you do break through the door, which of you has weapons on you? Like, visible weapons?
Euan does.
No.
Rhukkarrak, did you bring any weapons alongside you?
I think he would have had a dagger stashed somewhere, not visible.
Okay, just go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check for me. As you stashed it earlier, to see how well hidden and concealed it will be.
Euan's is his mobility aid, so there's no hiding that.
Yep.
So 15.
Okay, not bad. As you enter, there are two posted spire guard here. One kind of welcomes you in. We would just need to take any weaponry that you have brought with you. You can claim it when you leave.
Do you have something else I could use as a mobility aid then?
Kind of look towards each other. The other one is just for mobility.
Aye.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
No, that's perception. I wish I had the +4 to persuasion. 6.
We could probably fetch you some sort of cane. We want to make sure everyone here feels safe. I hope you understand.
I understand.
Okay. And they do fetch us a small cane, probably not quite large enough for your stature, but it will at least help. It will do the trick, not as well as your greatsword there you carve personally, but wouldn't restrict your movement. And they hand it over to you. Do you hand over your greatsword?
Yep.
Okay.
With that exchange, Ruka will actually kind of sheepishly go into his clothing and pull out the dagger. Be like, "Oh, I usually have this on me," and he'll pass it over.
Okay, and they'll take it and give a nod before storing it in a safe area. Enjoy the ball. As you all step forward into the room, Rhukkarrak's heading towards the food. Where are the rest of you heading?
As we walk in, Euan kind of hunched over just a little bit with Kane. He will cheekily nudge Asja with his elbow and just whisper over to her, "You look stunning. Go get him."
She blushes a little. I was going to get some food first. And maybe look over the room. Basically, as they're entering in, I guess she's going to take a quick scan of the room. Number one, does she see, to bring Sailor Moon into this, does she see tuxedo mask anywhere? And, and I guess she's looking for people who seem to be prominent people.
Okay.
Him. And on a personal note, just as she kind of looks over, are there any other Elandris wearing elves here?
Okay, go ahead and just roll a perception check for me.
14.
14? Okay. As you kind of give the ballroom a glance and a cursory look here, you see all manner of elven individuals adorned with all manner of jewelry. It would be hard to differentiate what might be Elandris specifically, just from a glance like this. You might have to get a little closer and personal to discover that, so you don't really pick up on any there. You do see off in one of the corners some more individuals huddled around some, what you can assume is probably some more of the important figures that have attended such an event. You do also see kind of wandering in that general area, not quite over in that corner, but there's a elven individual who is adorned in like full plate, like very, very well crafted armor that is shimmers with the light here that kind of glows. And you look around and don't quite catch the eyes of that other elven man that you had a brief encounter with earlier. Not sure if he has yet to arrive or if he's hiding somewhere.
Okay. Well, as Asja's eyes kind of fall over the corner table, she's gonna kind of lean into the group. I would say that table over there, that's your wheeling and dealing table. Also, I find the individual in the full plate armor very interesting as well. If nothing, this will be a very fun night, I think. Maybe not in the traditional sense of fun, but I think it'll be fun.
Euan will nod. We'll turn around to Maldorwen. Kind of bend down a little bit more. I assume you'll be wanting a ride from your steed, my liege. He says kind of cheekily.
Of course.
Palm Maldorwen and put him up on his shoulder.
Little bells kind of jingle with a little jig as you do so.
Oh my gosh, I'm Scottish Santa right now.
And you notice here too, the clothing and appearances of everyone is very distinct. Not a whole lot of people are adorned in like one sort of fashion. And so even though your little motley group here is quite outstanding, you don't everything here is outstanding. So you don't quite not fit the norm. Go ahead, Maldorwen.
I was just gonna tell Euan to charge into the chaos of the ballroom.
Euan puts down the shoulder and runs in. No.
So do you guys go into the actual dance floor, or do you head over? Where are you guys heading?
I
Euan's
think
gonna
Rahel,
Go ahead.
at least Asja was going to head to go and get a plate and get some food and maybe sit down and have some nibbles as she surveys the room before she goes to the dance floor, I guess, afterwards. But no, she was headed to the food. It's always the food with Asja.
Okay.
That is also where Euan is heading, and he's going to stay as far away from that bloody dance floor as he possibly can.
All right. As you all kind of saunter over to the fine dining arrangements that I've had here, it's just the tables of elegantly put together dishes with very much artistic expressions involved in them. Mostly different kinds of fruits. You pick one up and it looks to be some sort of like fruit that has been cut into different layers that kind of make a almost resemblance of a flower. You pick up a little bit of the fruit. It's very sweet with a bit of a floral tang, and it cools your mouth as you kind of bite into it. Faint sparkle you feel on your tongue. Eat into whatever delicacy this is. You imagine it probably comes from the oasis as well, as most things do here in the city. You pick up, there's different elven waiters of sorts, servants, that kind of bring around finer ember glasses they hand off to you of some sort of alcoholic beverage. You sip into them. Is anyone abstaining from indulging?
Euan is.
Okay, good to know. So Euan...
Yeah. No, Ruka is going to awkwardly pick at the food and probably start slow at first with the alcohol, and then as it gets a little more comfortable to dance, probably drink a little too much.
Okay.
Oh gosh, he's a sloppy drunk.
Oh no.
And one of them is like
think-
a iridescent, almost blush type of wine that glimmers faintly with the chandelier light. Drink part of it, and it kind of almost brings a sense of clarity and warmth, and you just start to resonate a little bit more with the music there as it takes its effect.
I think Asja will accept. Maybe take a few sips, but I think the glass will last her all night type deal. It's
Yep.
still not her thing, but at the same time, when in Valtari, do what the Valtarians do.
Yep.
I think Maldorwen is going to drink, but he's also going to make it seem like he's drinking more than he actually is.
Okay.
And he's more like acting drunk than he's drunk. If
Alright,
you
go
know what I
ahead
mean,
and-
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Roll a performance check for me. We'll kind of stand for the night as you encounter other things.
Okay.
15.
15?
15's not bad. Maldorwen appears to be drinking a decent amount, as far as most of you can tell. And seems to be enjoying himself for sure in this kind of playful clothing that he has adorned. Eventually, as you all are kind of staying a little bit out of the actual dance floor there, and a little bit not trying to garner attention to yourselves, you do see a figure heading in your direction as a large group starts to follow behind this elven figure. Before you stands a younger elven figure, their presence at once serene and commanding, like a breeze that bends the world gently to its will, draped in a shawl that shimmers and ripples as if stirred by an invisible current. They move with effortless precision, each step deliberate, yet untouched by tension, so the world itself yields to their rhythm. Their features are finely wrought, androgynous, carved with the elegance only time and lineage can bestow. Long, straight hair of radiant gold flows down their back, catching the ambient light and casting faint halos upon their shoulders, dancing in tandem with the shifting folds of their garments. Close behind them moves an entourage of elven attendants, cloaked in quieter tones, their eyes ever watchful, like shadows trailing a light. And yet, none distract from the figure at their center. All attention, all gravity belong to them. As they approach, the space seems to still, just slightly. A subtle hush falls over the revelry, and the music bends around their presence, like reeds around a river stone. Then with a voice as soft as silk, but as clear as starlight, they speak, grace woven into every syllable.
Hello. You all must be the Motley here.
That would be us.
I'm so
God, that's
pleased to make your acquaintance.
And you... I don't mean to be rude here, but you seem to have one up on us by knowing who we are, but
They offer
none
a
of us
broad
are from here, so...
smile.
I am Jean Quinn, your host for this evening's revelries. There is much I would like to discuss with all of you. But the night is long, and I'm sure there'll be time for such things. I'm glad to see you here, and I'm pleased by the colors you bring. Enjoy yourselves, Marlihu. We will speak. I have other individuals to attend before that, though.
And with that, they kind of give a subtle bow of grace, or kind of stepping away, kind of still looking in your direction for a moment.
As they're walking away, Rhukkarrak is going to awkwardly be like, "Oh yeah, nice party, by the way."
Kind of lift a graceful little hand in acknowledgement.
Fascinating person.
I don't know who I want to deal with more, Euan or him.
Them.
Them, sorry.
I don't belong here.
I've felt that way ever since. Yeah, long time. Well, I guess I'll head over and take a look at the dance floor. See if I can't, I don't know, overhear some interesting conversations. As well as maybe search out a certain dance party. Bye!
Okay.
Well, at least the food is good, and this whatever this drink is, it's interesting. I could get used to it.
This high life is all just too much for me. I don't fit in. My people never did anything like this. We were all too tied up in what weapons we were producing, how our military was presenting itself, and what we could do to not acquire power, but to maintain the peace that we had. There was never time for this.
Well, in my village, it was a daily struggle for survival. But I don't know if we had a piece of the elements to protect us from the harsh, then maybe we could have, I don't know, something like this seems a little bit extravagant, but at least time to relax and enjoy good food and drink. I don't know.
What do you make of all
What
of this?
is-
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just wondering. Well, you know, this and all we fought for. All I fought for. And I think I always thought that one of the things that is worth protecting the most is beauty like this. We admittedly never have things so beautiful in Kertas. But being part of the Sunspire, I don't know. I'm glad that the elves live like this.
I don't begrudge this on anyone who wants it. It's just not my cup of tea. I wonder if they have Tylenol here. They have like everything else. I'll be right back. And Euan is going to get up and go look at the drinks and see if just maybe they have Tylenol.
There's a big pitcher. Tylenol.
He chugs it.
Alright. Yeah. You can acquire some Tylenol. That's same kind of tea that was brewed for you in Elendor. That seems to just relax the muscles a bit and allow you to not worry as much as the pains of your past.
So Rhukkarrak, as he starts getting a little more alcohol in him, he is going to get a little bit more bold and kind of stray from the food tables a little bit and just try to talk to people just to get a general idea of who is here and potentially why he is here.
Okay. We'll come to that in a moment here. Maldorwen, what will you be doing during this time?
Okay, since I think I did a pretty good job in selling that I was drunk, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna need a moment. I think I'm gonna be sick. And he's just going to slip away, and I'm going to try and just like scope out the place, look for my targets, so to speak. And also, like, I will go around and just like break a little bit away from the group and start being silly, like doing what Maldorwen used to do when he was a child in characters, like climbing the like curtains around the room and like cawing from up there, like, you know, imitating like a storm bird, something like that, trying to just like mess with people and stuff like that, and just like being silly in general.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check as you kind of scope the area out, as you garner this aura of silliness. Ooh.
Okay, so 25 total?
25s are good. Alright, we'll come back to that in just a moment. And Asja, you stepped away first, heading off towards... where are you heading exactly? Towards the dance floor?
She's heading toward... There's always a ring of people around those that are dancing, so she's gonna kind of work her way into that kind of general area and, you know, take a look at who's on the dance floor. But she's also going to be listening to just snippets of conversation and stuff like that, you know.
Okay. So as you start
She's not dancing yet.
head over in that direction. Go ahead and also just make a perception check for me.
Okay.
See? Okay. You start to head over towards a group of individuals just trying to, yet again, kind of eavesdrop a little bit or garner a little more of what the less told portion of this evening might inquire. As you step up to them and just overhear, here's some individuals speaking of, this is all just such a beautiful night. So unfortunate how we can't do this more. Another individual kind of responds. Yes, it's been a while since we've had such a prestigious event. The heat of Embervale really boldens the spirits for such a lavish time of frivolity. As you see them pass some sort of vial of something as they partake in some sort of intoxicant.
Okay.
As you kind of are overhearing that, you feel a little tap on your shoulder.
She'll turn around.
And in there, in the tuxedo that you kind of picked out, is the elven individual. I see that you made it. Fancy a dance?
I was waiting for you to ask. And she put her glass just down on a random surface somewhere. And
kind of hold out his arm
go
for you
dance?
to take as he leads you towards the dance floor. Meanwhile, Rhukkarrak, you start to stand up a little bit into your drinks already. You're feeling that warm buzz of the inebriation of the alcohol, giving you a little more confidence in your step. You start to step forward. An elven individual you don't recognize steps up towards you. And there, on her face, is a... oh, I can't... words. You recognize, like, her... can't think of why. But she walks up to you. Would you like to dance? Kind of holding out a hand. And you recognize a little, like, something in her eyes. I'll say that. Familiar sense.
I don't know how to dance. I would probably just step on your feet.
I insist. Follow my lead. And she'll like, go out to like grab your hand.
He will just like snap his hand back. No, I really, really don't.
Luca, dance with me. And at that moment, you kind of, even though you're a little bit drunk, you do recognize the voice of this individual.
I don't like to be touched. As he glances at the intertwined hands and fingers and stuff of the people on the dance floor.
She kind of nods. Then we won't touch. And she kind of
There's a way
turns
to do that?
and walks out into the floor, kind of look. If you're not following, she kind of waits and looks over her shoulder for you to follow.
I mean, he's going to slightly hesitate, but not very long at all. He'll follow her.
Okay. As you make your way out into the dance floor, we'll shift over to Maldorwen, who's perched on some sort of balcony thing. Just as some servants are like, please, get down from there. Don't, no, you're not supposed to be up there. As you are kind of keeping a keen eye out, you do notice almost everyone in this room, besides Rhukkarrak and Euan and yourself, are elven in heritage. But there is one figure that stands out from all the elves. A taller, orcish individual. Not so muscular as Gorak you saw fighting earlier in the day, but an air of prestige kind of exudes from them as well, draped in very fine clothing and very similar style towards everyone else is wearing here, but an orc stands out a little bit. Anything in particular you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on the guy that's telling me not to. I'm just gonna go to the orc.
Boom! You don't tell me what to do.
I had a brief moment of panic.
Alright, so
Yeah,
as
I'm
you
going to. Yeah.
step down from your little
Sorry.
perch there. Thank you, sir. Please. They motion towards the other part of the ball as you step away and head on over towards the orcish individual. You get next to them. Are you going right up towards them?
I wanna like hang around them to see like if I can eavesdrop or just like see what he's doing.
Okay. Currently,
But
it appears that he's conversing with some other higher-ranking looking elves that partaking in some alcoholic beverages as well.
okay. Yeah, I would like to like listening for a second before, trying to make myself part of the conversation to get some context.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me again as you kind of eavesdrop here.
Absolutely. Okay, 19.
Is still very good. Your plus 10 is very good there.
Yes, I love my plus 10.
As you kind of subtly just make your way around Your smaller stature helping you remain a little less inconspicuous, and you're able to get a little closer than maybe others would. As you overhear this individual.
Well, I come from the Stockholm. It's quite the place up there. Not nearly as hot as it is down here. But we have quite the growing populace.
As some of the other elven individuals start to ask questions about his homeland and the place that they come from, not being part of the Sunspire Dominion. And with that, Maldorwen you recognize the name Vlaskolm. You know it to be a smaller orcish clan or tribe that is on the north or western portions of Aruthar. But you don't know much of its importance. But yeah, that's where they kind of are talking about just a little bit of his homeland. The curiosity that he brings, having a new perspective on not being from the Sunspire.
Alright, so Maldorwen is going to approach and say,
Isn't it Thorak Ironshade?
Yes, it is. And I see, well, that's quite the outfit you have there. You Katusi.
Yes, indeed. At your service.
May I know your
Nickname?
Yes, Mockingbird is my name, or that's how you may call me.
Very well. Pleasure, Mockingbird. As you already know, I am Thorak, an emissary from Vlaskolm.
I have heard of your people, but not as much. Not many exploits to speak of. At least not in the area that we are knowledgeable.
I'd imagine not. Our people have been quite small until as of late, as we have grown in the past several years. We are here seeking, well, relations with the Sunspire. Better than what we might have had in the past.
A noble goal. And allies is what we need right now.
Is that so?
Your people... Yes, your people are strong. You look strong.
You honor me. Are you here also on diplomatic ventures?
Yes, indeed. Well, that is part of my duties, but conflict sees that I come and go to lots of places in the city, like this. Not the first place that you would expect to do diplomacy at. There are the council chambers, the spire. Why
Yes.
here?
I find working with the elves.
And at this point, the other elven individuals have kind of broken off, find some other conversation to get in, or have. So you are just speaking to him currently. There are other individuals that might be overhearing your conversation, but just the two of you in this conversation.
I find that working with the elves is interesting. You have to more tend to their fireside, if you call it that. Their passions.
Their revelry. And motions towards the ballroom where you see the elegant dancers.
You and I see eye to eye in that sense. I understand. But I also wonder if that is not a reflection of your role so far in the conflict, tending to this side, not so much to the battlefield.
He kind of looks thoughtful for a moment. I, at least personally, would rather tend to an arrangement like this than a battlefield. A lot less bloodshed.
Yes, definitely. A lot more beauty,
Yes.
but to what cost? You seek the protection of the Sunspire, and you seek to find refuge under its shade. But aren't you a strong tree by yourself? You say your city is small. Kertas is small. Our name is engraved in the surface of Rhukkarrak. Just look at the dunes of the desert. Perhaps you can find many a graveyard of my people. We've shed blood for hundreds of years. And that's what made us strong. Why are you willing to partake in the drink? Why are you willing to partake in the food, the dance, the revelry, but not in the bloodshed that must happen for this to exist?
He gives a bit of a nod. Go ahead and just roll a charisma check for me. Maybe persuasion if you want to use that skill.
I wanted to. Okay, sure. I'm gonna do persuasion. Let's go. Okay, 12.
12? Okay.
Yes.
I do not mind spending time with the elves in such manner. While our people do look up to your people, being friends of the Sunspire, but not controlled by it, we'd like to garner some of that similar respect. And while tensions in the past have been not very friendly, we seek to change that.
Well, maybe you should think about the strength you have to offer, because that might be the difference between the Dominion being torn asunder or it staying together. Yes, it's our people who have stood for centuries together against Durakthol.
He gives a nod as we kind of shift perspectives over to Rhukkarrak here. So you're brought out on the dance floor here. You watch as this individual goes to trust me, and her arm goes to touch you on the shoulder, but you don't feel anything from the touch. You don't feel any contact being made. I know how to weave the illusions. You should know this, Rhukkarrak. As you start to dance subtly, go ahead and just roll a performance check for me, just for fun.
Okay. Yeah, like as he sees her hand make contact, he will just instinctively flinch a little bit, and then when he catches up to the fact that he can't feel anything, he'll kind of relax a little bit. Yeah, you said performance?
Yep.
That is a natural one for 2. He is drunk.
So drunk. Oh my god.
But she tries to guide you as best as she can without actually touching you. It's tricky, and she kind of starts to move around you as you twirl in a not so graceful manner. Kind of talks. I can see you're not very good at this, so I'll keep this brief. Do you see the orcish individual across the way? And she points out an orcish individual that you can clearly make out.
Yes.
He is here to make treaties, promises of his kind. It is in our interests, the shadowy ones, that those are seen through. I, however, have reason to believe that others will try to disrupt this. I hope you didn't come to this party just to get drunk.
I didn't know what I was coming for.
And I am telling you now. I'm glad you came. I'm glad to see you.
Well, at least this is a better pill to swallow than the last one.
There has been words and other shadows in the night. Have you recognized them?
We got a strange note yesterday. Talking about some eternal slumber or something. And the people shouting about the conflict on the... Was that what you're talking about?
Precisely. There is a lot happening in the city. And if we're not careful, everything can crumble. We are not harbingers of this conflict. We don't want it. But not all of us see eye to eye. As I'm sure you have seen, if not heard.
Okay. Well, I suppose I can slow down on the drinks and keep an eye out.
I think it will reward you. You do. I'm not sure all will occur here tonight. But I get the unerring sense that this is all just a front.
Ugh, I wish I kept my dagger.
Watch your back, Ruga. And with that, she'll kind of lead you back out of the dance floor. You almost were stumbling over each other for a couple of minutes there. As we'll shift perspective over to Asja, who is, as you are brought out to the dance floor by this not necessarily super tall elven individual, not super well built, but handsome nonetheless. Kind of steps out, and you two both start to dance. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
12.
Oh, okay. You have not attended something like this before, and you're not one to practice dance, and so you don't know the fluid movements. But following his lead, you're able to pick up on a little bit of the rhythm. You don't look as shoddy as Rhukkarrak, that's for sure. But as you start to dance. So, you said your name was Asja, right?
That's correct. And you said to ask you again tonight what your name was.
Yes. You think about it much? I tend to like the mystery. The name's Lucan.
It is nice to meet you. And mysteries is something that you could say is a bit of a specialty of mine.
Oh, very nice.
So, what are you doing here? If you don't like balls, why are you here?
Well, I was prompted by a pretty girl to dance earlier in the day, so that encouraged me more to come. But other than that, motions over to the heavily plated individual. My father. The leader of the guard. Tells me I have to attend these things so our family doesn't get lost in the politics. I dislike it though.
Well, as they spin around, she kind of points over to the corner where Euan's sitting. That's my dad over there.
I don't see him. Where?
Green track there.
Oh. Gives you like a weird side eye. Another mystery, I suppose.
No. He found me in the Desert Shade Woods. I don't really have many memories. I know that sounds strange, but it's sometimes like dreams, that's all. And he found me and has been taking care of me since then. So that's my dad.
Gives a nod.
Your dad, on the other hand, is... Wow. I guess that's some pretty big armor that you're supposed to fill, huh?
Something like that. Makes me just want to run away.
Where would you go?
I don't even know. That's why I haven't. Everything I have is here, but I don't know if it's really mine. Shoes to fill that I don't know if I want.
In a way, I can understand that.
You're all the way from the Desert Shade? That's, quite the distance.
First, we went to Ellendor, and then we got hired for a job, and we ended up here for the Harsh. And then somehow we ended up invited here. I have no idea.
Kind of motions over to Juan. By them?
By them.
Kind of gives you another eye. Adventurous type, then. Juan definitely enjoys that kind of company. Especially if he can persuade you to do their bidding.
Well, my prices are generally very high, so I hope they are ready to pay it.
As the two of you continue to dance, kind of shift over to the old Drakthir in the corner. Euan, what have you been up to this whole time?
Euan has been... For a little bit of time, he was standing kind of against one of the pillars in the wall, just surveying, looking, plotting if things hit the fan, how to get people out, defensible positions. The normal things that someone who has only known military in their life would take stock of in this kind of situation. As the elven man dancing with Asja looks over his way, his eyes will narrow for a moment. It's the feeling of being watched. He doesn't really make any sort of like odd gestures or anything. Eventually he'll sit down and with a plate kind of unceremoniously heaped with just a few too many hors d'oeuvres, one of them threatening to fall off of the edge, catching it and stuffing it in his face. The whole while just watching.
Okay.
And seeing trying to see if anything is going amiss, or if anything seems out of place.
Go ahead and just roll an insight check for me.
Oh
That's
my
a natural
goodness.
20.
Last session you got 20 on insight.
Euan knows all!
I'm so proud of you.
I'll say, with your newfound awakening, your senses are stronger, yet different than they once were. You can more keenly sense just the aura of people around you, and it's weird, because you're not sure exactly how to comprehend these senses quite yet. But you do get a general sense that a lot is happening here. And while there is a lot of frivolity and revelry and passion, there is also a lot of scheming and subtle machinations that are happening behind the scenes. You also get a glimpse of this intoxicant that Asja had a brief glance of earlier as well. You do see some other individuals partaking. And at one point during the night, an elven individual kind of steps over to you. Not one for the balls, and hands out a vial of this iridescent, like shimmering vapor.
What is this?
Try it.
Would Euan try acid if it was handed to him?
Does Euan try it?
No, he doesn't. He'll look at it for a moment. He'll strongly consider it. But the memories of being drunk and in merriment before the Khazdurim attack, blaming the intoxication for not being able to do more, I don't think he would try it. And he would politely hand it back and say, I appreciate the offer, but this isn't really my jam either.
You're lost, dude. And they take a large kind of inhale as the kind of violet gold, almost opaline kind of vapor. As they inhale that, they just take a deep breath and exhale. Yeah, it's some, with that insight, it's definitely some sort of like drug or psychoactive thing. Their eyes kind of widen, their pupils dilate quite heavily as they return over to somewhere else. As you continue to sit there, Euan, kind of still lost in thought a bit about that time, about trying to stay as vigilant as you possibly can, and looking at the different exit strategies if something were to break free. You see that the domed kind of ceiling here does have a completely circular hollow in it, revealing the last fading lights of Alamor as the sun has fully pretty much set at this point. A little bit of starlight starting to trickle through there as well. And there are two large exits, one towards the back and one towards where you entered as well. So if something did break out, you're pretty confident most people could escape relatively quickly. But you're just a little on edge, especially with all the scheming that you just can feel. But as the notes of a song kind of drift into silence, the dancers start to slow, ending in a flourish of beauty before parting the floor. A hush follows, brief, breathless, and then a new one begins. And this one is different. The melody is foreign, laced with subtle, aching reverence. And a voice begins to sing, soft, almost whispered, as though the words are lost to most. But you understand them, as you freeze with recollection. Someone is singing in the tongue of Quran, or the Sindarian people. Clear and fluent. Carried through the golden air of the ballroom, you've heard this song before. Not in many, many years, not since you were a hatchling. Dancing in the glow of the Quran tree with joy in your blood and warmth in your heart. The melody stirs something deep within. A memory of life, strength, belonging. It sings of the great tree that shielded your people. Of fire, not as a weapon, but as a guiding light. You feel it burn again inside you. Not alone, but with another flame awakening in tandem. The song kind of pervades this air. The more elven dancers are continue to dance alongside it, not knowing the ancient, dead, forgotten language that calls out. You do.
Euan will stand and immediately start walking towards the voice.
Give me a
2
perception
steps.
check.
Alright.
As it almost appears to be emanating from everywhere in this room.
That's a 10.
The 10. It takes you a moment to garner your surroundings. You're not sure exactly where this voice is coming from. But after a brief walk around, trying to find whoever is singing along to this tune, you do eventually spot some instruments that are playing this melodramatic song of your people. And among them, shorter, stands a gnomish figure who is, with reverence and respect, singing the words of your kin.
I know Euan would start walking towards it. After about the 3rd step, the cane would clatter to the ground as he is shocked by this, and almost like he's drawn to it. He's just going to walk. He doesn't pay attention to the people getting in his way. He walks through them and stands as close to the group of minstrels as they will allow him to get, essentially, and will unashamedly stare at the gnomish figure who is singing.
Okay. As you approach, it took you a bit of time to actually find this figure as the song then comes to an end. As more elven music picks up once more. As the figure doesn't continue singing. As they just sit there in silence for a moment. The other minstrels playing along and keeping the music alive for the rest of the party. As this about 3'5", super short, gnomish individual, like literally half your size, eyes up to you. And they look relatively young for a gnomish individual. They're not masked. They don't even appear to have any resemblance of the Kirtuzi lineage or history or culture. But as their eyes kind of meet yours, there's a sparkle and a glint in them. And with that natural 20, you understand that this individual has seen a lot more than their young body would foretell. As we'll shift once again over to Maldorwen. As the orcish figure...
Well, I should probably get going. I have some other things to discuss tonight. It was good to meet you, Mockingbird.
One last thing I want to tell you is that it's unavoidable. Any pact that you sign with the elves, you sign with blood. They are not very good at defending their own. You know, Mithrandel and all that other cities that fell. But good luck to your people and to yourselves.
Go ahead and roll one more persuasion check for me.
Okay. Okay, 16.
16. You see a little bit of... Go ahead.
I think I want to spend my tactical mind just to make it a little better.
Okay.
And yes, this is my second one of the day. So 20 total?
Dirty 20.
30-20.
Yeah, as they look a little disturbed by your words. And you can tell they give it a little bit of a thought. Before nodding and then walking away from you towards whatever their meeting they have arranged in the evening here. Would you like to tail this individual? What would you like to do as they depart?
No, I don't think I'm gonna tail them for now. I just wanna look around, see what's going on.
Okay. More of the same. Higher elven nobles conversing with each other, talking about all manner of variety of politics and things that don't really pertain to politics, like their favorite fruits of the oasis or other things that don't really have anything important. There's a lot of just revelry happening here as well. There definitely is a lot of scheming, but not everyone. A lot of them are just enjoying the evening splendor.
How do you pronounce their name? Jean? Jean Jinquin?
Jean Jinquin, yeah.
Is that are they around?
You can make out their figure as lots of people are conversing with them.
Okay. I think I would like go their way, and like as they are conversing with the other people, he will start like throwing compliments like very loudly. But it would be stuff like, "Oh, you're a blossom from Stone Hollow. More than ember, you're burning coal." Stuff like that.
Okay, towards Jean.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment here. As Rhukkarrak, you exit the dance floor. Where are you heading off to? Cyril, as you could tell, that's who it was, though cloaked by some sort of illusory to disguise herself, steps away from you. Kind of gives you one last knowing eye before going in conversing with other elven nobility.
So Ruka is going to go over to the table and pick up a fruit or something that he's found delicious tonight. And he's going to go look for a Euan or Euan.
Okay. So you make your way over to Euan, who is currently in front of the minstrels. We'll come to that in just a moment as well. As Asja, the two of you finish that dance right as the ancient song starts up. This Lucan leads you off the dance floor. Well, thank you for the dance.
And thank you for the dance. I hope the evening doesn't bore you too much. But if it does, you can always find me, and maybe we could try and sneak out and, I don't know, get out of here. It's a bit stuffy for me.
It's something my father would definitely would not like, which inclines me to do it a bit more. We'll see. I have a couple of responsibilities that I should probably attend to.
You attend to those, and I will attend to what I'm here for, and then maybe afterwards we can... I can help you get in trouble with your dad.
If I don't see you anymore tonight, where in the city can I find you?
I am in the Desert Sentinels.
I see. Very well.
House number. She tells him the house number.
Good to know.
Feel free to drop by when you want to.
I just
we
might.
could always go to the tavern there, and they have meat. Not that fruit is bad, but all fruit all the time. It's very sweet all the time. Anyways, my dad is looking at the musicians, and I think your dad is looking at you. We should probably...
Yes, he is. Good night.
All right.
I will see if I
Good
find you
night.
later. Break off there.
Yep. Asja will head off towards Euan.
Okay. As Euan stumbles over to the minstrel, just right as that song dies down, Rhukkarrak and Asja both kind of meet as you follow or catch up to Euan there. The gnomish individual here and gives a bit of a bow after the song ends and looks to slip out of your view. What are you all doing?
Stop. Please.
They
Catching his tone as being aggressive will stop and add the please. The gnome will turn around to see a very almost funny, goofy-looking expression on Euan's face. It's a mix of bewilderment grief, happiness, a lot of things. How do you know that song?
They kind of stay quiet and turn back to meet your gaze.
It is a beautiful music. One that I wish to have the world remember.
It is a song from my home.
But it is. I'm glad you were able to hear it.
I have not heard someone speak or sing in the Sindarian tongue since the city fell.
And in Sindarian, he calls out,
There are those that remember.
he gives one more kind of bow before turning to leave again.
If you would like to talk or practice or anything, you can find me at the desert chapter. He's fully stuttering and stammering, trying to figure out words and what to say. To him, it feels like someone just hit him in the head with a club. Like there's a portion of him that is like shaking with excitement and being ecstatic, and there's a part of him that does not know how to behave in this moment, and he is tripping over his words and just trying to make them come out, even though they are threatening to not. And he will then switch to Sindarian. And simply say, I would love to speak more with you and answer your questions about my people.
Okay, as you call that last bit out, they slip away and out of view. As Asja and Rhukkarrak, you meet up with Euan now. You hear the bit of tongue neither of you recognize.
What was that, Dad? Are you feeling okay? She touches his forehead. Up on tiptoes, touching forehead. You okay?
His eyes are wide and he is openly weeping. I've not heard my tongue. He sang in my language. He sang a song from my city, from my people. And he won't be able to respond. He's shutting down from shock. Fully. Not like he did the other day. It's nothing like that.
Moment number 2, here we go.
He physically and mentally does not know what to do with this, or how to do this, or what his reaction should be. And for all intents and purposes, he looks like he's seen a ghost.
I was going to share some delicious fruit with you, but He's gonna look with a little bit of concern at Euan.
Asja's just gonna have that normal smile she has, and she'll take one of Euan's hands in hers and kind of... Sorry, but I don't have anything of my own, and take a quarter of his new kilt and just kind of dab his cheeks.
You just flashed him to everybody here if you picked up the actual kilt itself. So.
The sash part is closer to the face. The part that goes over the shoulder is closer to the face than... And I'm sorry, flashing everybody your nipples isn't that bad. Flashing everybody else, they maybe got a nip slip. There we go.
Look, the Scotsman in me would have been remiss if I didn't make the joke, alright?
Nope, totally get it. But she'll...
Well,
sometimes gifts are just that. Something you needed to hear at the right time. It was a beautiful song. Even though I didn't understand it, it sounded beautiful.
Speaks to the power and the protection of the Quran tree. And he'll kind of start coming back down to his senses, and his free hand, he'll start wiping the moisture off of his scales. Oh, bloody hell, I don't need to lose any more moisture. I haven't recovered from the desert. Rhukkarrak, the fruit looks delicious. I would love to share it with you.
Well, this... I don't think this was a fruit that you've tried yet, because I found it in the shadows. And he looks meaningfully at you too.
Understood.
This wonderful party has such wonderful fruit, and but this one in particular, you need to be careful. There might be some seeds that you might choke on. I hear that we have a
steak better now. Like, yep, just give me a steak. This fruit is just not. Now the fruit's going to kill me, apparently. I don't know.
Oh, it wouldn't kill you. Probably.
You don't even need to roll insight. Asja is not comprehending what you are trying to hint at. She is seriously thinking you're talking about the fruit. Something about the shadows she's getting, but you're really like, she's like, is the fruit poisoned? What is wrong with the fruit? Why will I choke on seeds? I don't get this. So,
as long as Euan seems to be getting it, he'll continue.
Euan face palms really hard. There's an audible thump that echoes in the room. We'll work on that later.
Well, I do have a new friend to go introduce myself to. That may have a problem with some of these seeds, so I'll see you later. It's actually it's the orc over there. And he'll just leave the fruit with Euan and start headed over to the orc.
If the fruit needs peeled, let me know.
I will.
As Rhukkarrak departs from the two of you, we'll switch back over to Maldorwen, who is calling out to Juan here. And just giving them compliments. Right?
I would say there's like a hidden meaning behind the compliments, but like I don't think they would pick up on it. Like Maldorwen is very particular with his speech, and like yes, like I said, like what he's trying to say are like things that are a bit like not offensive, but like he's telling him that like he's not fire but coal, and also that he's like a blossom, but a blossom of stone hollow, which is like, yeah, he's hinting at something or trying to.
Okay. Jean conversing with some other elven nobility here, does give a notice to your callings out. And turns to meet your mask there, and just gives a little like nod of the head and recognition, and eyes you a little bit with curiosity.
Beautiful garden.
Why, thank you. They'll
But
step
there is
over.
a hole in your dome.
Can you repeat? There's a hole in your what?
There's a there is a hole in your dome.
Hole in the dome. Okay.
Yeah. He points out.
Motions towards the large circular hole. That is for something to come.
I was gonna say perhaps the same can be said about the city or your plans.
Oh?
A small hole, perhaps? And he's gonna like leave playfully.
Okay. If you glance back at all, Jean looks a little perplexed, but doesn't give too much mind. Turns to some of the other individuals who were trying to give them attention. At this point, what else, or where would you like to go, Maldorwen?
I think I'll just like go around being silly a little more, like
Okay.
you know, appearing to be really drunk, and like I'm gonna start calling out like my name,
Like I'm Mockingbird and stuff like that, and just like mocking people a little bit, like very subtly, you know.
Okay. Some of the elven individuals kind of pick up on it and start to laugh and like, to me next! As you kind of go and prod and make fun of the nobility here of the Blazing Ball. At one point, you do see this quite resolute figure, the one who is in complete plate mail, kind of step up towards you and just call out, "Are you gonna be a problem here? Do I need to escort you out?" And some of the
Well-
other elves who are kind of laughing along with you. "Oh, don't mind him. He's funny jokes."
Yeah, Maldorwen's gonna say, I am looking for an escort, but you're not my type, darling.
And just kind of gives a eyes the other elvins and just says an elven curse underneath his breath before turning and walking away. As Rhukkarrak, you saw the orcish figure, but they have seemed to slip into somewhere you weren't paying attention to them. So go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you can re-find this individual.
Come on. Ooh, dirty 20.
yes.
Okay. You see on one of the edges, there's a little bit of a side kind of corridor with drapes of cloth and silk that you just barely get a glance of this orcish figure entering right as you look towards them, or look for them.
He'll kind of he'll follow him if he can.
Okay. You can definitely do so. It's across the ballroom, but you can make your way around and slide into the kind of alcove of a interior here. As you do so, you see there's a little interior room here with some lavish furniture and other just more grandeur of elven craftsmanship. As the orcish individual has entered, and there's a couple spire guard in here that are at like the door right as you breach the little silk doorway. And you do see another elven woman kind of across from this orc as the guards kind of look towards you. The orcish figure looks down towards you too as you enter.
This is a private meeting?
Oh, I'm not used to. I just was told that this gentleman here was someone I needed to meet. I guess I. Sorry.
The elven woman kind of pipes up. Thorak, is this one with you? Thorak pipes up as well.
No?
If you'd please allow us some privacy.
Sorry, I just found a fellow orc and was hoping to. And he's just going to awkwardly do a sort of bow and just kind of head out and wait patiently just outside the room where he can hopefully hear a little bit of what they're saying.
Okay. You do see that one of the guards follows you out and stands like guard right at the door there now. But if you want to just stay in the area, you can do so. So we'll kind of shift back to Euan and Asja. What are the two of you doing?
So, the one in the armor seems to be, if I remember correctly, the leader of the Spire Guards, or similar, I guess, to Calarith in Elendor. And the one I was dancing with was Lucan, his son.
This is how you're going to get us all in trouble, isn't it? He says, it obviously joking.
Maybe. She says, not joking. Okay,
kind of. Go on.
That was it. She just kind of goes, okay, I won't.
He just kind of does that dad thing where he puts the bridge of his nose in between two fingers and shakes his head. Have you seen the other two? I'm a little worried about, worried that Rhukkarrak might do something
To choke on the seed?
Might choke on a seed. We are going to have a conversation about that when we're not here. But also, I haven't seen Maldorwen around, and with his adoration of elven women, I'm afraid of where we might find him. So we should probably touch base and figure out where everyone is and what everyone knows and what everyone's doing.
Yes. Asja's going to kind of stretch her neck up a little bit and look around the room. I would assume while everybody here is rather uniquely dressed to themselves, Maldorwen probably still stands out a little bit more than
Yeah, Maldorwen does a little bit, especially more or less his stature, which is shorter than everyone else here.
Maldorwen is literally peacocking.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, it takes you just a brief moment before you do see the kind of colorful plumes of Maldorwen's uniform, or his makeshift, colorful uniform there.
Maldorwen is over there, but I don't know. I think Rhukka's.
You guys saw where Rhukkarrak went to. Like, he departed right from you, headed in that direction.
Oh, and Rhukkarrak is over there.
Well, if they're all accounted for, I might need help finding the cane again. I kind of dropped it when I was going towards the gnome that was singing. Also, I might want to get more food. It's actually really good, which I was not expecting.
Alright, come on. And she's gonna give an arm, but at the same time, like they've done many times where she's walked with Euan, giving him a bit more support. And they'll get back closer to the table where the cane was dropped, I believe.
Yep. Okay. So as the two of you kind of rest some, getting some more fruits and delicious elven finery, you watch as the dance floor starts to become vacant for a moment, as a booming, familiar, soft, elegant voice calls out through the interior here.
Thank you all for coming. It is my pleasure to host such an elaborate event. Enjoy.
As you feel the rush of air and wind start to billow into this interior here, kind of rushing past all these elven individuals, hair kind of going crazy, as a swirl of this wind starts to encompass the dance floor, as some elegant elves just step out into the dance floor with the wind billowing around them, and with their graceful nature start to leap and dance mid-air as the winds start to tumble them, as they elegantly, kind of like a trapeze show almost, very gracefully dance with the winds. And that is where we're going to pick up next week.